have your pull in no time.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Week 4 wrapping up on Monday Night Football tonight. Pair of games, the Jets and Dolphins, both at 0-3, looking for their first win, followed by the Joe Burrow-less Bengals visiting the Broncos. Ravens dealing with some big injuries after the loss in Kansas City yesterday. Star defensive tackle Nnamdi Madubuike now ruled out for the rest of the year with a neck injury that cost him the last 2 weeks. Madubuike, a Pro Bowler in each of the last 2 seasons. All-Pro linebacker Roquan Smith suffered a grade 2 hamstring strain, will miss a few weeks. Status uncertain moving forward for quarterback Lamar Jackson, who left with a hamstring injury in the third quarter. In baseball, a couple of changes in the dugout. The Giants firing manager Bob Melvin after an 81-81 season. San Francisco has not made the playoffs since 2021. The Twins announcing that they're letting go of manager Rocco Baldelli. He will not return after a subpar season in Minnesota, while the Red Sox are getting set for the wild card series against the Yankees. Righty Lucas Giolito will not be on the roster with an elbow injury.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, the Eagles and the Bills are the best 2 teams in football, but who else will join them in my top 5? Find out in my latest power rankings. It's on Sportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It is AFR Live from the Raising Cane studio. Big round of applause. How about that? We have Cane 3 in studio with us. Very proud of our new partnership with Raising Canes. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. What in the world? Why? Get that off. Why? Turn that off. We're here. Glad you are as well. I look up in studio, and Ole Miss is beating LSU 17-10. I'm dead serious. Turn that off right now. It's just going to piss me off. Paul, whatever you're doing, I don't care. Stop doing it and just turn that off, please. Dead serious. Okay. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Why? Like 4 remotes in here. Can't figure out which one turns on that TV. All right. We got a lot to do today. Tigers lose. Saints lose. Peter Burns in an hour. Sean Fazende in hour 3. So obviously, dead wrong. Loved LSU in this spot. Thought they'd win and win comfortably. Thought LSU is the more talented roster. Liked their opportunity to go on the road and get this win. All the things they're in. So I'll take all the darts. I deserve it. Wasn't the first time I was wrong. Won't be the last. So there's 2 things to talk about. One is the missed opportunities that cost you this game. Because my goodness, did you have opportunities to win this football game? And number 2 is the bigger picture issues that, if not resolved, will cost you more games down the road and leave us all really cranky by the end of November. Let's start with Saturday, okay? And the missed opportunities in this game. It was such a good start. Such a good start. A perfect start. Ole Miss wins the toss. They take the football. You hold them to 3 and out. They had not been held to a 3 and out since the game against you last year in Baton Rouge to start the game. They had not gone 3 and out to start the game since the game in Baton Rouge a year ago. Not only did you hold them 3 out in the first 2 series, 3 and out, 3 and out. All the things we talked about, Division II quarterback, not ready for Blake Baker's defense, all of that coming to fruition. Looks perfect. Right out the chute. Boom, boom. 3 and out, 3 and out. LSU on the second possession. First play of the second possession, Xavier Thomas. Boom, 50 yards. You're in business. Same thing. Their secondary can't cover. Arkansas put up 500 yards. All the narratives are spinning. Tigers get in the end zone. It's 7-0. They put together an 18-play drive and end up stalling for a field goal. And you're going, I'll give that up all day long. Okay. You want to dink and dunk your way down the field 18 plays to settle for 3? Fine. That ain't going to be good enough to beat LSU, not with Ole Miss's defense. Talked about missed opportunities. My goodness. You're up 7-0. They get the field goal in the long drive at 7-3. You're right down the field again. Boom, 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 boom. You're at their 29-yard line at the start of the second quarter, and Garrett Nussmeier throws an interception. Horrible ball into coverage when, by the way, LSU ran a double slant and Xavier Thomas was behind the safety. If Nuss just throws it back line into the end zone, Xavier runs under it, you're up 14-3, and they can't stop you. And the whole complexion of the game changes because Garrett throws it into coverage. Terrible decision, interception. I don't know that that's his torso injury. That's a bad decision. And after that, your defense gets a stop. And you trade punts, and then they start moving, and A.J. Halsey comes up with a massive play to force the fumble when it looked like they were going to go take the lead. And my goodness, what an opportunity. So you look up, and they get the ball with 6:49 to play in the first half. That offense, right? Lane Kiffin's offense has 3 points. 3 points. It's a 7-3 ball game with 6:49 to play until halftime. And they would score twice in those final 7 minutes because your offense couldn't get a first down. Your offense can't run the football. Talk about missed opportunities. Their first touchdown drive, you gave them 50 yards of penalties. 2 PIs, a personal. By the way, they held on first down. It's 1st and 20. West Weeks hits Chambliss late. So instead of second, and he's incomplete, instead of 2nd and 20 backed up deep in a set with a 7-3 lead, now they get 15 yards out of their end zone. Boom, boom, PI. They're right down the field. By the way, DJ Pickett's pick 6 gets called back. It was legitimate PI, but he didn't need to. Chambliss was rattled. Receiver was cutting in. Chambliss threw it to the boundary. Pickett stepped up. Would have been a pick 6 either way. Could have been 14-3. You start to piece those together and you go, my goodness, all of the opportunities. Missed opportunity at points with Nuss's interception. Missed opportunity to pick 6 there with Pickett's pick 6 after the PI. You just had so many opportunities to take command of this game. Even after they score to go up 10-7, you get the ball at 4:53, and on the first play, and listen, you can criticize Joe Sloan, and we're going to talk about that here in a second, but give credit where it's due. 4-minute offense, 4:53, you're down 10-7, first play, beautiful design with everybody on Ole Miss's defense going to the left. Xavier Thomas catches the ball on the right. He is going to score. This is going to be an 80-yard touchdown, and he tight ropes the sideline and barely steps out by 3 inches? If he stays in bounds, 80-yard touchdown, house call, you got the lead right back. That place is silent. Instead, he's out of bounds. 3 plays later, you punt. And your defense, which was on the field for 49 plays in the first half because you can't run the ball, is right back out there. Credit Ole Miss. Beautiful 2-minute offense. They go score. It's 17-7 at half. I mean, the interception took away the possibility of 3 points. Xavier stepping out of bounds would have been a touchdown. Pickett didn't need to interfere. That would have been a pick 6. I mean, this could have been so much in your favor if you're playing a clean game, and you didn't. And then the second half was what it was. You had 2 short field opportunities where you settled for field goals instead of touchdowns. Nuss misses Hilton deep. And you still had a shot and you allowed them to convert the 4th and 3 at the end of the game after Chambliss inexplicably went out of bounds. All that to say, I understand all of the bad, and we're going to talk about that because that's the bigger picture here. But even with all of the bad, you still had an opportunity to win this game. It was a 24-19 game. You lost by 5. I mean, you had opportunities to win this football game. But even if you had won the game, it would not have omitted all of the wrong. I say it all the time. Winning masks deficiencies, losing magnifies them. We are all today, after LSU lost, magnifying the deficiencies that some might explain away, like Brian Kelly tried to do after the Florida game when he yelled at Cobble. But the bottom line is, I think we all knew at the time that offensive performance was not acceptable. They were going to have to be better. I, hand in the air, was willing to say I understood being a little sluggish offensively against Clemson and Florida, being a little cautious, because that's what you had to do to beat those teams with really good defensive fronts. Make no mistake, Ole Miss is not a good defensive front, which shines a massive spotlight on how bad you were on the line of scrimmage, because other than Centarian Perkins, I don't know that there's anybody in that defensive front that's getting drafted. And you couldn't block them. Which brings you to the big picture issues. If you're sitting here today and you want to blame Brian Kelly because he didn't have this team ready to play, didn't have a good plan, whatever, fine, blame Brian Kelly. Yes. If you're sitting here today and you want to blame Joe Sloan because of this scheme that put up 256 yards, 59 on the ground against a team that was the worst run defense in the SEC, allowing just under 200 rush yards per game on average, yes, blame Joe Sloan. He deserves all the blame today. You want to blame Brad Davis because you got an offensive line that can't run block? Yes, blame Brad Davis today. That's fine. You want to blame the offensive line for not improving? You want to blame Garrett Nussmeier for bad decisions? Yes, everybody. There's tons of blame to go around. Wherever you want to lay it today, it's warranted. Ultimately, whoever you want to blame, I know this truth. LSU has got to find a way to improve on the offensive line because it is literally the thing that we have talked about since literally the first day of spring. I went back and checked today, practice report from March 12th, first day of spring. The first thing we looked at was who are the starting 5 offensive linemen. 5 new starters. By the way, Bo Bordelon was running with the first team at right guard the first day of spring. How about that? And DJ Chester was playing center. Mabenga was your left guard. Adams and Davis were the tackles, first day of spring. Went back and checked today. It was March the 12th. We've literally been talking about this thing since then. And people are surprised, but we have literally been talking about this thing since the first day of spring, all the way through fall, and now through the first month. You lost 5 starters on the offensive line. And the ones that you have playing right now are not playing nearly good enough for you to be able to be a complementary offense to a championship team. Because your defense is really damn good. And there's a lot of people looking at the yardage LSU. Yeah, when you're on the field for 84 plays, you're going to give up a lot of yards. They gave up 24 points. That defense giving up 24 points against Ole Miss should have been plenty enough to obliterate that. Arkansas scored on their first 4 possessions against, by the way, Arkansas, who just got the crap kicked out of them by Notre Dame, scored on their first 4 possessions in that stadium against that defense. That is a bad Ole Miss defense, comparatively, and you put up 256 yards and 19 points. You have got to figure out a way to get this offensive line improving and this run game going. Cole Kublik was here before the season, and I asked Cole point blank, hey, why couldn't LSU run the ball last year? Remember what Cole said? This is what Cole said on this show.
I don't think that offensive line could not run block last year. I don't think that offensive line was given a fair chance to be good run blockers last year.
By the way, Cole's whole point was you got to make a commitment to running the football. So far through 5 games, LSU has run the football 147 times. That is the fewest in the SEC. There are teams that have run the ball 140 times, a couple 125 times, but they've only played 4 games. LSU's played a full game more. Attempts per game, lowest in the SEC. You had 9 first-half rushing attempts against Ole Miss. Only 2 of them were running backs. Juwan Johnson had 1 carry for -1. Caleb Jackson had a 10-yard run on a 3rd and 20. And that was against the worst rush defense in the Southeastern Conference, and you didn't even try to establish the run. You've got to be able to run the football, and you've got to be able to protect Garrett Nussmeier. Ole Miss for the bulk of the game, and you don't have to be a football savant. You don't have to be sitting there breaking down X's and O's. Watch the game. Greg McElroy pointed out the whole damn game. Ole Miss was running 3- and 4-man fronts. Same thing Louisiana Tech did. Why? If LSU's not going to run against a 3- or 4-man front, drop 7-8 in coverage. You want to know why quarterback struggles? You got 3 or 4 receivers going out into a pattern, and I got 7 or 8 defensive backs. Every single guy going out on a route is double covered. Good luck finding. Why isn't anybody open? Thought these receivers were good. Everyone's double covered. Everyone. So why don't you run the ball? Because you can't. Why not? Great question. Look, it didn't help that Weston Davis got hurt in pregame warmups, and you had a true freshman at right tackle. It didn't help that Paul Mabenga got hurt in the second drive of the second half. There is no excuse to be this bad. Like, again, I want to reiterate, Ole Miss was allowing nearly 200 rush yards per game. Kentucky ran it for $170 against them. Tulane ran it for $180 against them. You ran 20. You ran for 22 times for 59 yards. 59 yards. You have got to commit to running the football, or this will be a massive disappointment of a season. You have enough talent on both sides of the ball to be awesome, to be a playoff team, to win, to beat any team you play. Because look around the conference. Bama gets dump trucked by Florida State. They go to Georgia and win. Tennessee looks great at times. They needed overtime to beat Mississippi State. Where's the dominant team in the league? Where's the dominant team in the country? Oh, it was supposed to be Penn State. They just lost in overtime to Oregon. Like, where? Oh, it's Ohio State. Ohio State got caught in a quagmire the opening week against Texas where they put up like 250 yards. Like, there is no dominant team, which is a great thing because you can improve and have great opportunity. But the key is improving. In a month into the season, I can't say that I've seen LSU's offensive line improve a lick. And if they don't get better, and Joe Sloan doesn't commit to running the football, to take pressure off of Nussmeier, make defenses commit players to the box, all the things that are very natural and obvious, then you're going to win games, but you're not going to be a playoff team. And we're going to be sitting there in November with watching a 3-4 loss team and massively disappointed because of all of the hype around this team, the financial investment, and what could be if you play at your best. But they got to take this week off to get healthy and figure out a way that they can commit to running the football, because unless they do, you're going to see more of this. You'll win games. You'll have nice wins. You'll have really nice wins. Remember in 2022, Kelly's first year? Ugly against Florida State, got blown out by Tennessee. They also beat undefeated top 10 Ole Miss, beat Alabama. You'll have really good days, but there's not going to be enough really good days to get you the result you want at the end of the season, unless if you figure out how to make some commitment to running the football. All right, we got a lot to talk about. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. You can find Bud Light on the officially licensed LSU can or aluminum bottle. Also, if you're a Saints fan, official beer of the Saints, got those black cans with the gold fleur-de-lis. You'll find them at great local retailers. It's Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, y'all. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Saints fall to 0-4, but some encouraging things in the loss of the Bills. We'll talk about it next on AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident, not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Of course, coming close toward the holiday season. I'll be excited to tell you more about the bicycle giveaway when we get closer to that. Always love telling you about Gordon Gives, which is the charitable arm of Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Gordon's take has always been, he's been so blessed. He and his family have been so blessed, and he's such a genuinely good man and wants to give back to the communities that have given so much to him, his family, and all the people who work for Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. That's why Gordon Gives exists, the charitable arm of the law firm, to give back in so many ways. And yes, the G team, all the different NIL opportunities they do is a part of that. So you can learn more at GordonGives.com. GordonGives.com. Again, that's GordonGives.com. Of course, if you've been injured and it's not your fault, you know what to do. Go to GetGordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Kellen Moore met with reporters on Monday and actually shared a little bit of good news about a couple of injured tight ends. Here was Kellen Moore meeting with reporters on Monday with the update on Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill.
Only things to roster-wise, just to acknowledge is Taysom and Foster. They've opened up their practice window, so they'll be able to get back on the practice field for the first time this year. And then Caesar likely will be out this week, and we'll kind of take it week by week with him. So.
Well, we'll get updated on Ruiz after he was injured in Buffalo, but that's great news on Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill. Of course, Taysom suffered his really devastating knee injury at the beginning of December, and then Foster was in January, the last playing day, Week 18, in that game against the Bucs when he was injured. And there was a real question when you looked at the length of recovery from those injuries at even if those guys would be able to return at some point this year, just considering when in the season it happened, their injuries happened. But that's fantastic news. So it's a 21-day practice window. They'll have 3 weeks now to be added potentially to the active roster, so you can sort of ramp them up, and then potentially you're looking at like week 7 maybe. We for a possibility of of being added to the active roster and having the chance to play. So it's pretty exciting. If it continues to be Spencer Rattler at some point, if it's Tyler Shuck, to be able to get back a couple of really valuable offensive pieces in whatever capacity they may be able to help. So that's fantastic news. We'll keep you up to date and tell you more about that as we move through. Saints fall to 0-4. They lose to the Buffalo Bills on Sunday up in Buffalo. And there are no moral victories in the NFL. I'm not going to sit here and applaud you like the good job, good effort kid. But the thing that I'm going to say today is the thing that you're going to hear me say most Mondays when we come back and talk about the New Orleans Saints. Because most Mondays when we sit here and talk about the New Orleans Saints, it's going to be after a loss. Because as you've all clearly seen, and like we talked about all throughout the offseason, this is not a particularly talented or deep roster, and one that's just not going to win a lot of games. Okay. I accepted that fact many months ago, and am perfectly fine with accepting that fact that this is not going to be a season where they're competing for anything of substance, but it's an opportunity to learn what you have, what building blocks you have for the future. The reason last week was so disconcerting was because it felt like in the first 2 weeks you had shown some signs of competitiveness, and to go to Seattle and to be so wholly outclassed and to continue to make silly mistakes, double-digit penalties, the special teams gaffes that shows lack of preparedness, lack of discipline, and those sometimes can be rooted in bigger picture issues. Well, a lot of times in the NFL, teams, really in all pro sports, after they're embarrassed, you will see a great effort. And I think they went to Buffalo, a 16.5-point underdog, and gave themselves a shot. And maybe more than anything, it was encouraging because they played well after the awful showing against Seattle, and most importantly, they sort of reversed some of those ugly trends. For example, the penalties. After having double-digit penalties a week ago, only 4 penalties in this game. Now, it feels odd applauding pros for only committing 4. Like, good job, you didn't commit double-digit penalties, but there has to be progress. And so you saw some of that. And if you're just looking at the game itself, at the 9:01 mark of the fourth quarter, Spencer Rattler threw a pass to Brandon Cooks, which is initially ruled a touchdown. Now, it was overturned, and he was open, and Rattler missed him. A better throw, it's a touchdown. But if that stands, the New Orleans Saints would be leading the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo at the 9-minute mark of that game. That's pretty remarkable. Now, the Bills committed their first turnover of the season. The Bills committed 11 penalties, and they still scored 31 points and beat you by a dozen. Because the Bills are awesome. They might be the best team in the NFL. Like, think about what I just said. They played, by their standard, a pretty terrible football game and still scored 31 and beat you by a dozen. They're really good. So this is less about Buffalo, and it's more about the Saints. After falling down 7-0 and feeling like, here we go again, what an opening drive for New Orleans. The 18-yard touchdown run by Kendre Miller. I mean, Kendre Miller continues to be a real pleasant surprise running the football. 11 carries, 65 yards, an average of 5.9 per carry. He runs hard not only out of the backfield but in special teams as well. He has shown some of those flashes so far in the early going this season, which is really encouraging. As we keep talking about, you're looking for cornerstone players. He's averaging 4.5 yards a carry this season. I'm not telling you need to stop traffic and throw a ticker tape parade, but for a guy that couldn't stay healthy, that's being a contributor for you now as a nice compliment to Kamara is a really good thing. And then after you scored, they went right back up 14-7. And then after that was the sack, the intentional grounding. It looked bad, but on that next drive from Buffalo, Jonas Sanker had a PBU and an interception on consecutive plays. Again, another young guy who we're looking at, as unfortunate as the Julian Blackmon injury was, this has given an opportunity for Jonas Sanker, who's making the most of it, which is awesome to see. So you're seeing a young guy who looks like a starting caliber player in the NFL, which is fantastic. But Pete Werner dropped an interception on the next drive, which could have set you up in a good spot. Special teams were improved. Kai Kroger hit a punt. You downed at the 1-yard line. You got a short field after that. Blake Grupe hit a 54-yard field goal after He missed 2 from 40 and in the first 2 weeks of the season. Look, I hated the call by Kellen Moore at the end of the first half to run the Philly special. It's 14-10. I know you're saying what's easy to say in hindsight. No. Circumstances matter. I'm a take the points guy. Like, it's a 14-10 game, minimum 3 points there. By the way, at that point, you were also rushing the ball for nearly 6 yards a carry. It was third down. You want to go for it, run it twice. They haven't shown the ability to stop you. Run it twice. And if you don't, and you end up kicking the field goal, great. It's 14-13, and you're getting the ball to start the second half. And you could go kick a field goal, take the lead, flip the pressure on them. So I hated the call. Way too risky in that situation, considering Olave doesn't normally throw, and you only let that pass go if it's wide open, and it wasn't, and whatever. But, great response after falling down 21-10. You put together an 11-play, 65-yard touchdown drive. 7 of the 11 plays were running. You ran it right at Buffalo. It was a huge part of this game. You ran the ball 34 times for 189 yards, 5.6 yards per carry. It looked great having your starting offensive line out there and your ability to run the ball with Kamara and Kendre Miller. Like, you can build on that. Sanker and Miller, obviously we talked about. Only 4 penalties. The special teams were better, with the exception of Blake Grupe on the kickoff after you pulled within 2. And then Blake Grupe, oh my God, mishitting on the kickoff and giving them the ball at the 44 plays later there in the end zone. And then, Josh Allen called game after that. But there was real opportunity. Carl Granderson, a stop on 4th and 2 that gave you the ball near midfield. Like, you made some big plays in big moments and showed you could compete with a team that's maybe the best in the NFL. So, again, I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that there's a moral victory because you played hard. They're pros. They should play hard. But I'm trying to keep realistic expectations in check for this season. And when I look at realistic expectations, I look at the Saints hosting the Giants this week and going, Jackson Dart coming into New Orleans. I know they won against the Chargers, but now they're without Malik Neighbors and rookie quarterback first road start. Saints coming home. You can win that game. The Saints can win the game on Sunday. I might pick them to win, actually, on Sunday. And you can look at those opportunities that if they play like this, will be there against teams that aren't the Buffalo Bills playing in Buffalo. So I'm encouraged. After Sunday. I didn't expect them to win. I don't think anybody did. I'm not fist pumping because they covered a 16.5-point spread. But this is more at this point about, are we seeing growth and development and progress with this organization, with this coaching staff, with the young guys on the roster? And it's hard to look at Sunday and argue to the contrary. By the way, Cam Jordan also got his 124th career sack. Just as a tidbit, I tweeted this as well. If you look at the official sacks, which have been kept as an official stat since 1982, basically 125 sacks is the benchmark. If you get to 125 sacks, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. So Cam is 1 sack away from basically solidifying himself as a gold jacket status. So would love to see him keep ticking that up to leave no doubt. But that's something fun, maybe a little layer within the season to watch for the New Orleans Saints. All right, we're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You can check them out online. Y'all, we're getting close to the holiday season. Gents, a lot of people pop the question around the holidays. If you're thinking of popping the question, get on by and see our friends at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, because at Lee Michaels, they have an amazing selection of diamond rings that will surely thrill her and make you the hero. They also have gifts for all occasions. If it's birthdays or anniversaries coming up, surprise someone with a gift in that red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review, and we're glad you're hanging out with us here on a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. Big shout out, by the way, to Brandon Holly, who was part of the Best Dressed Gala this past weekend in Baton Rouge, raising money for the American Cancer Society. Always proud of my guy and the Hollies and how much they give back to the community. A great thing this past weekend. It's After Further Review. Let's knock out a quick break, y'all. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. And, Sam Pittman has been fired. We've got the odds for who is likely to replace Pittman at Arkansas. We'll get to that next on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Of course, the Renaissance right there on Bluebonnet across from the Mall of Louisiana and Perkins Row. Such a great spot right in the heart of Baton Rouge, man. You know, most people, when they start giving directions to anywhere in Baton Rouge, it starts with, well, get on I-10. Well, if you want to go to the Renaissance, get on I-10 and get off at Bluebonnet. And if you head toward Perkins, you'll see the Renaissance right there on your right, kind of across from the mall and Perkins Row. Always a great time to pop in if you want to hang out at Tallulah, grab a business lunch, a glass of wine, a cocktail after work, indoor-outdoor flow at Tallulah in the Renaissance. Even though it's right there on Bluebonnet, the beautiful wall that kind of walls you off from the highway, and then the fire pit semicircular fountain is a great way to just go indulge and feel like you're stepping away from the city for a brief moment. And as we always say, whether it's Watermark or Renaissance, if you're thinking of hosting an event, they can host whatever type of event you have coming up. It's the Watermark and the Renaissance Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Arkansas fired Sam Pittman on Saturday. That's no gigantic surprise. They were absolutely blasted by Notre Dame in a score that it was ended 56-14. It could have been a million times worse if Notre Dame wanted it to be. That was a week after Arkansas blew an 18-point lead on the road at Memphis. Interestingly, and Chris Marler wrote this over the weekend at LouisianaSports.net. I had somehow missed this or forgotten it, but the timing is interesting. So Sam Pittman's fired 2 games under 500 for his career at Arkansas. The interesting thing is, over 500, 2 games over 500. if the buyout clause is such that it drops dramatically if he were fired with a sub 500 record. So if they had just waited a couple of more games, a couple of more losses, then they would have owed Sam Pittman dramatically less. I don't have all the numbers right in front of me. Forgive me for that. But it's all up at LouisianaSports.net if you want to go read it. But so I think it's just interesting, the timing. They are going into their open date. But also it feels like they're doing right by Sam Pittman to make sure that he gets his buyout money. Because they could have very easily just waited till the end of October, and this thing would have sort of naturally taken care of itself, and they would have saved a ton of money. But Arkansas made the decision they did. They fired Sam Pittman. Now the odds are out. We got this up at LouisianaSports.net as well, if you want to go check it out. The odds to replace Sam Pittman. Interestingly, Rhett Lashley is topping the list. He's got 3-1 odds. Followed by Ryan Silverfield, John Summerall from Tulane, G.J. Kinn, Gus Malzahn, Mike Gundy, yeah, right. Bobby Petrino at 9-1. Then some more long odds. Eric Morris, Jeff Traylor, John Gruden. Dan Mullen's on the list. Dion is down there at 20-1. Lance Leipold, Barry Odom. Anyway, all that to say, it's going to be fascinating to see what type of interest Arkansas draws. Like, number one, there's no, if I'm Rhett Lashley, there's zero shot I'm leaving SMU for Arkansas. Like, SMU has shown they've got the financial commitment to build you a roster that can get you to the playoff. They did it the first year. And you're in the ACC, which is inherently more winnable than the SEC. You're making financial commitment at the top of the ACC. Arkansas is middle-bottom tier of the SEC, which is the hardest league in the country. There's no shot. If I'm Rhett Lashley, I'm leaving SMU for Arkansas. Now, if I'm Lashley, I may leave SMU for Florida. Like, I think the only way Lashley leaves SMU is for like a top 10, top 15 job in the country where you can win a national championship. You can't do that at Arkansas. Their athletic director said as much. Jeff Long said as much. So, I'm sorry, Jeff Long. Hunter Yurachek. Jeff Long is not the athletic director there anymore. Hunter Yurachek said as much. So, and then the other part of it too is someone like John Summerall. I don't know if I'm John Summerall, I'm leaving Tulane for that job. Because I think John Summerall is going to have better options than Arkansas if he wanted. It's just fascinating because it's just a different era. Because this era is all about who is making financial commitment into your roster to be able to compete within your league to get to the playoff. Arkansas is not doing that. Not at a level that's going to get you into the playoff, but it's an SEC job. It's a Power 4 job, and someone will leap at that opportunity. I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm fascinated to see what type of interest they'll draw and what type of candidate they land on. And it may end up being that Bobby Petrino gets his second go-round. See how he does here in the second half of the season. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, kill other harmful pathogens. Parish Restoration, it's a patented, non-toxic dry fog treatment. You probably heard the commercial running we told you before. So Garrett Nussmeier is actually now doing an NIL deal with Parish Restoration because he's a customer. Garrett had mold in his home. He and his wife-to-be, his fiance, they bought a home. Home had mold. They called Jim Woodworth over at Parish Restoration, came in, sprayed that patented non-toxic dry fog treatment, and now they did an NIL deal with Garrett. So he's a happy customer. ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com. Home, commercial building, kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens, sanitization. Check them out at ParishRestoration.com. That's ParishRestoration.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Arkansas Razorbacks.
We talked about Sam Pittman being fired, Bobby Petrino elevated as the interim head coach, and on Monday, Petrino started overhauling the staff. He's fired 3 defensive assistants, including defensive coordinator Travis Williams, defensive line coach Deke Adams, and defensive assistant Marcus Woodson. A 56-13 home loss to Notre Dame. My goodness. We'll see if Petrino is able to make enough waves to keep that job on a full-time basis.
The Alabama Crimson Tide
Alabama will be without a pair of outside linebackers moving forward. Kalen DeBoer confirmed that Quay Russaw suffered a broken foot. He'll miss extended time, but not season-ending. And outside linebacker Jamarian Latham will miss the rest of the season after undergoing surgery to address a neck injury he suffered in practice last week. That's an unfortunate injury. So hope all's well there with Jamarian Latham. Scary with a neck injury, but big win for the Tide this past weekend, of course, at Georgia.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
Sooners landed 2027 four-star cornerback Mikhail McCrary, fifth member of Oklahoma's 2027 class, committed to OU over Texas Tech, Texas A&M, Kansas, SMU, Houston Vandy, and others. He's the number 190 overall recruit in the country, the 18th best cornerback.
The Texas Longhorns.
Sark gave an injury update on running back Quintravian Wisner ahead of the Florida game. With a hamstring injury, said he's progressing really well. Stopped short of saying that he'd be available for the game in the Swamp. Chip Brown from Horns 247 reported last week Wisner and fellow running back C.J. Baxter both expected to be ready to go for Florida. We will wait and see.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
And Ole Miss flipped. Michigan commit and coveted four-star cornerback Dorian Barney flipped from Michigan to the Rebs. Top 300 prospect. Committed to Michigan in July, visited Oxford over the weekend. 6 foot, 170-pounder, committed to the Rebs. He's the 24th best corner for the 2026 class. Okay, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows. Windows door siding. Oh, yeah. They do shutters as well. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. All right, let's knock out a quick break. Every week, Muse Pauly and I give you 3 things that we're watching in the football weekend. We come back on Monday, tell you what we saw. We call it what we learned. We'll do it next to wrap up hour number 1 on AFR.
AFR.
Okay, I want you to do this with me. I want you to get out your phone. We're going to do this together, and we're going to punch in agent225.com, agent225.com. I want to do this because every time we do it, Darren tells me his website blows up. Agent225.com. I'm literally typing this in. Everybody who might want to sell your home, first you have to know, well, how much is your home worth? Well, Darren uses local market data to give you an accurate price for free, by the way. You don't even have to type in an email address and all that sort of stuff to sign up for anything. Just go to agent225.com. There's a home value tab right there. Type in your address and then hit search. And in seconds, as quickly as you can type in your address, it'll tell you what your home is valued at with local market data, giving you an accurate picture of your home value. You want to sell your home? You need to buy a home? First, you might have to sell your home. That's where you start. Agent225.com. Agent225.com.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. and the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
All right, we are wrapping up hour number 1, and glad to have you hanging out with us here. Every Thursday, Muse, Paulie, and I give you 3 things we're looking at going into the football weekend. We come back on Monday and tell you about it. Let's hit it.
We watched. Now, let's review.
All right, Muse, fire away.
Yeah, so it was Oklahoma's first game without Mike Gundy since 2004.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State, yeah, excuse me. How would they look?
Oklahoma's a different program altogether.
Yes, a much better program. Yeah, if we're being honest. Anyway, you know what? They got a little bit of an interim bump. They scored the most points they did all season long. It was an 8-point game at halftime, and then they gave up 45 to end it, not in the second half, but their defense is bad, and that's why their defensive coordinator got fired today.
Paulie.
I was watching Oregon-Penn State. Oregon knocked off Penn State in overtime. It was a slow first half, 3-3 at halftime, but then Oregon went up 2 scores in the fourth. Penn State would rally back to tie it. First play of overtime, well, both teams score in the first overtime. First play of second overtime, Penn State 25-yard touchdown. First play of the
Oregon.
second.
Oregon 25-yard touchdown.
Yeah, Oregon. First play for
Penn State, they threw the interception.
Threw the interception. Ball game over.
Yeah, it was Dylan Thieneman, by the way, the Purdue safety transfer that LSU wanted very badly. Can you imagine if Dylan Thieneman was on this defense with A.J. Halsey? I was keeping an eye on the Houston Texans. I know that sounds strange, but they were 0-3, trying to avoid an 0-4 start. They fancy themselves as a playoff team, and historically, teams that start 0-4 do not make the playoffs. No trouble for the Texans in a had-to-have-it situation. They blank the Tennessee Titans 26-0.
Arizona State and TCU on Friday night. This was a fantastic game, man. Sam Leavitt was awesome, especially down the stretch, especially running the football. Didn't turn it over. Was responsible for 3 touchdowns. How about the Sun Devils? Fell down 17-0, 27-7 the rest of the way for a comeback win.
Say it.
The unranked team over the ranked team. Yeah, I mean, every time, man.
It pushed.
I got it at 3.
But still. Yep. But still.
The Chiefs knocked off the Ravens 37-20. The Chiefs finally looked like their old selves for the first time this season. Mahomes had 270 yards passing, 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers. By the end of the game, the Ravens were missing 7 defensive starters, and most importantly, Lamar Jackson left the game with a hamstring injury. Ravens fall to 1-3 on the season.
Your boy was heavy on the Chiefs yesterday.
Yeah?
Oh, well, Paul, it's all the injury. Chiefs had to have it, and all the injuries for the Ravens defense had a really nice Sunday, thanks to the Chiefs. Thanks, Uncle Travie.
There was a backup quarterback in that game, too.
There was. We might get to that. You know when my guy.
Stop it.
My guy.
I shouldn't have done it.
When my guy, Coop, when old Coop, that's those of us who know him best. That's what those of us call him.
You don't know
there
him.
were 2 teams that were undefeated against the spread going into week 4. They were the Chargers and the Colts, and both lost and both failed to cover.
Jackson Dart, debut. I didn't think it was going to go well at all against that Chargers defense. I'll be damned. It did. He was pretty good. Didn't turn the ball over. A couple touchdowns for him. Real story is the Giants' defense. I mean, they shut down Justin Herbert in that offense. But, hey, man, 1-0. Good for Jackson Dart.
And I was watching the return of Micah Parsons to Dallas. So this game had everything, all the makings of an instant classic that unfortunately ended in a tie.
Did you stay up?
I did.
Did you? Me too.
I know I watched.
I did. Yeah, I was up.
Me too.
I was up.
Erica goes, it can end in a tie? I was
Yeah.
like, okay, Donovan McNabb.
Parsons was held in check the majority of the game. He did record 2 tackle assists, but the biggest play was the sack on Dak Prescott in overtime that saved the touchdown.
And finally, was watching Bama, Georgia. I was really hoping to come in today wearing spiked shoulder pads, but I don't know. Alabama has some voodoo spell on Kirby Smart. He's 1-7. By the way, Kirby, you're losing in the fourth quarter. You're at the 10-yard line. Tie the game.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Points don't matter,
He
Matt.
just becomes like it's so weird. Great coach. They just got some voodoo over him. All right, there you have it. That's what we learned. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. OLOLRMC.com/LSU. OLOLRMC.com/LSU if you want to learn more. Of course, Garrett Nussmeier has an NIL deal with Our Lady of the Lake, and we're excited to tell you about many, many more coming through the pike. We'll have an opportunity to get a lot of those student athletes on the show with us as well in all different sports. But Our Lady of the Lake, interwoven with the fabric of LSU, not just LSU athletics, but also the campus there as they care for the students at the Student Health Center and everyday champions like you and me. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. Peter Burns, SEC Network, is going to join us coming up right after the top of the hour. Happy to be here in the Raisin Cane studio. We got Cane 3, the giant Cane plush there, is in studio with us. Hour 2 is coming up next. Don't you move.
AFR.
Thankfully, we have escaped hurricane season with relatively, virtually no activity. But as we've seen throughout time, you never know when that next storm may pop up. Could even be a snow or ice storm in Louisiana. So, if you're a business owner, what do you do when the power goes out? What do you do? Well, you call Arco Power Systems. I want you to remember this, write it down, punch it into your computer, bookmark it, or call them right now. ARCCO, ARCCO, ARCCO. It's arco.com, ARCCO.com, arco.com. They're on Airline Highway in Baton Rouge, but y'all, they have offices all over the Southeast. They have offices in San Antonio, Mobile, north to Little Rock, and everywhere in between. Your business needs an industrial Generac generator. You want Arco Power Systems. Arco.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9 on Talk 107.3.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca, closing in on the wild card series across Major League Baseball. The Red Sox gearing up for a trip to the Bronx. Boston righty Lucas Giolito won't be on the roster for the Red Sox with an elbow injury. Was expected to be the Sox third starter behind Garrett Crochet and Brian Bayo. Game 1 tomorrow at 6 Eastern. Coverage of the wild card series all afternoon long here on ESPN Radio. Mets won't be making a trip to the postseason after a disappointing stretch to close out the year. ESPN Radio's Clinton Yates says there's a lot going wrong in Queens.
Wasting Frankie Lindor's years. Soto goes over there. Next thing you know, you can't even make the postseason in an expanded situation like we've never seen before.
Yates on Clinton and Friends. Elsewhere, the Twins are firing manager Rocco Baldelli after 7 years with the team. Baldelli won 3 American League Central titles during his tenure. Week 4 closing out on Monday Night Football. Giants got their first win yesterday, also suffering a big blow. MRI confirming star receiver Malik Neighbors tore his ACL.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Tuesday, the Eagles and the Bills are the best 2 teams in football, but who else will join them in my top 5? Find out in my latest power rankings. It's on Sportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock! Woo!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate back.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Music. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. What's wrong with Garrett Nussmeier? I'm talking about that in 15 minutes from right now. Right now, though, we always do it on Mondays here at the top of hour 2. Welcome aboard Peter Burns of the SEC Network. Peter Burns!
This week in the SEC with Peter Burns.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Let's separate the contenders from the pretenders.
Number 11 of the defense, throwing the LSU player's shoe 20 yards down the field.
With Peter Burns of the SEC Network, presented by Blue Delta Jeans.
Yo, Peter, man, check out Channel 9. Check out this chick. How are you, dude?
It never gets old, honestly. Every time I hear it, it never gets old.
Which reminds me, I've been meaning to ask you this. When are we going to bring back the shocked koala? And if you don't have plans to, can I steal it?
Well, we can make an agreement that we will be back in. And honestly, it did make a small appearance on Sunday when I'm watching Sam Burns in the Ryder Cup start making a little bit of a run. I'm like, clearly this is not going to be a thing. And I turn it on. I'm like, oh, they're still playing. I'm like, okay, there's a chance. And then the United States made every single putt. And finally, I was like, this calls for the shock koala. So I had to wake it up. I had to go find a eucalyptus leaf. I had to go take the picture. And sure enough, it did get posted. So.
There it is. I missed it on Sunday. So this is a very common post that Peter, for years, it would be the shocked koala with the eucalyptus leaves in its mouth. Peter would post this for years when anything shocking happened in sports, and then it just went away. I don't know why. I'm scrolling your media feed on Twitter right now. PB, I don't know when the last time you posted it. It's been a long time, man.
I mean, a long time. I mean, again, it's been since, I don't know, LSU looked great on offense. When was the last time? Do you have the actual number of when, like, what happened, when it was?
When LSU looked great on offense or your koala?
Both. I mean, honestly.
Koala.
I remember vaguely those days.
Koala, June 18th. This was LSU against Arkansas in baseball at the College World Series.
That's about fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense. Okay.
I mean, listen, we don't just, like, it's not just hey, you just throw it out. Like, this is a special occasion. Like,
okay.
you know, like certain, like Oregon changes their uniforms like every other, 3 days.
Yes.
Like, you don't just ask for the shock koala to come out. I mean, had USA made that transition or made the comeback, that would have been one. And LSU, Arkansas, I mean, how the hell can you not use it back in that day? That was incredible.
Oh, you gave a double koala. So the last time was New Year's Day.
Oh, wow.
What happened? It had to be something bowl game related.
Had to be.
Here it is. Texas, Arizona State.
Oh, yeah. That was, you see, again, you don't just kind of lollygag the shot call out there.
So it's about every 3 months is whenever you put it out there. Anyway, okay, so were you more, let's just get this one out of the way. Were you more impressed with Ole Miss or concerned with LSU?
Actually, you know what? I think I was more impressed with Ole Miss, and I say that in the fact of so much. And I mean, even Elko talked about it in his little thing about, hey, I sound like Brian Kelly here in his post-game presser. That we don't give enough credit to the teams that play really well. And every time that Trinidad Chambliss needed to make a play, he seemed to make it. Right, like we broke down a couple plays on our show this morning of, hey, LSU had everything. I mean, they're after him, and he steps up just in the right spot. There's a lane for him to do it. I mean, there was one after the West Weeks penalty, which is still, I think, where the whole damn game changed in the past. The roughing the passer or whatever, unsportsmanlike. They keep that drive going by Trinidad, just rolling out to the right and then throwing an incredible strike. And I think that's what I didn't think he had that in him, and I didn't think this Ole Miss defense was going to play that good early when they realized, oh man, LSU really can't run the ball, like legit can't run the ball.
That is the crux of every issue going on right now. Enough of that. The thing that I really wanted to ask you about today, because you'd have a much better sense of this than I would, what type of voodoo spell does Alabama have over Kirby Smart?
On Georgia, I mean, just the whole, I don't know how I lost you there.
I got you. We're here. Yep.
Yeah, I got you. It's I don't know. I mean, it's literally like Alabama shows up, whether it's Saban or DeBoer, and knocks on the door and is like, "Where's my rent money?" Like they're the damn landlords right now. Like I don't care. It's like Debo and the chain, and I mean, DeBoer worked them. I mean, this is 2 years in a row, and everybody's like, oh, it's Ryan Grubb. I was like, no, remember last year they went in Georgia came to Alabama, and it was like 24-zip right from the jump. And I don't know if it kind of reminds me of just, shades of when LSU would play good and then Bama would show up, and all of a sudden everything changed, like the mentality, and you could just tell everybody was tight in the football facility that week or whatnot. But there is something to it. And I'll tell you this, Ty Simpson looked damn good. And I still, you and I talked about this a couple weeks ago. I think the best thing to happen to Bama was getting shoved in the locker against FSU, because they realized that Bama brand's not as powerful as it used to be, and you got to show up because everybody looks at you as an opportunity now, and they weren't losing that ball game.
It was interesting, man. Bama got shut out in the second half. So Georgia, the defense showed up in the second half, but man, Kirby, like, were you screaming the same thing, PB, when they passed on the field goal from the 10-yard line?
It wasn't a field goal, and I didn't get bothered by that, because I think that's hindsight's 20/20 to say, oh, well, they should have kicked the field goal after they lose. Like, yeah, I get it. What I didn't understand is that they decided to go tempo, and they went on tempo on third down, which is fine. But if you go back and look at the film, had they not gone tempo, they would have taken their time and actually realized that Gunnar Stockton had the first down.
Like they wouldn't have had a fourth down. And so the idea that they would go tempo means that you're trying to trick somebody. And I can't remember the last time I saw a Georgia football team go, we're not good enough, even though they were running the ball at 7 yards a carry. Yeah. We're not big enough and strong enough at home to get a yard. Like that was the most shocking part of it. And frankly, that's why they deserve to lose.
They were running north and south. You're right. That was maybe a big surprise, too, is that they didn't just hand the ball off to the giant back who was ripping off like 7-yard runs every time he touched it. Peter Burns is with us, SEC Network, courtesy of Blue Delta Jeans, BlueDeltaJeans.com, BlueDeltaJeans.com. Hey, what was your big takeaway from Texas A&M Auburn?
Just honestly, and I said it on the show this morning, I think Auburn reminds me of the Cincinnati Bengals. And the fact that they spent the money on the quarterback, Joe Burrow, Jackson Arnold. They spent the money on the wide receivers, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, Eric Singleton and Cam Coleman, and they forgot about the offensive line. And now Jackson Arnold has no shot. I mean, poor guy reminds me of David Carr with the Texans. Everybody's just going to tee off on them now, and it's not going to get any easier because they're going to have, I think, Georgia and might be Texas after that. It's bad. And again, every time I look at it, go, God, this offense for LSU is just struggling right now. I can sit there and go, at least there's some type of I think they can get that fixed. It doesn't help when you lose an offensive lineman in warm-ups and your star running back is injured and Aaron Anderson goes out. I don't know how that's fixable with Hugh. I really don't. And it's starting to turn really ugly. They had 8 carries. When you think of football teams that are around the run, I think of Auburn football. And Hugh just continues to get trigger happy when he has no offensive line. It's maddening.
They A&M won that game 16-10. You're right. So open date for Auburn. Then they go Georgia, Missouri, at Arkansas, Kentucky, at Vanderbilt, Mercer, and Alabama. There's I think at least 3 more losses on that schedule for Auburn.
Might be 4. Bobby Petrino's back, baby.
Hey, man.
We got neck brace. He's back.
We got neck brace. Do you have a thought on who would want that job? Who would be perfect for that job?
Bobby Petrino.
Do you think he would actually get the job full time again?
I do, and the reason why I say that is, when I'm listening to Hunter Yurachek talking to today, because I was hosting a press conference show, he talked about it's important that somebody knows Arkansas. Well, Petrino knows Arkansas. Yeah. He talks about we need a lot more booster money, right? A couple of weeks ago he was saying that they were poor, that they'll never win a national championship, and he said, hey, we are confident we'll have the money. And when I hear that, you got to read between the lines. The reason why so many people wanted Bobby Petrino to be the interim head coach, it's the money people. Because the money people are the same people that back in 2000 and 12 or whatever before the chaos started, they saw him bring Arkansas almost to the promised land. And so they think that he could do it again. And Hunter Yurachek's kind of held over a barrel now saying, hey, listen, man, you got to give Bobby a chance. This is our dude. And Yurachek can't say no to those guys. So he'll have a 7-game trial period. And, you got to probably go at least 4-3. But here's the deal. If you're calling poor right now, what's a better job? SMU and Rhett Lashley and what you have in the path you can get to the college football playoff, or Arkansas trying to rebuild going into a 9 SEC conference schedule?
SMU. Like we talked about it last hour, Pete. There's no way. If I'm Rhett Lashley, there's no shot. I'm not saying I wouldn't leave for I think if I'm Rhett Lashley, I would take the Florida job. There's no shot I'm leaving SMU for Arkansas.
Virginia Tech? Then you go into an ACC that seems wide open. Oklahoma State, they've got money, and that seems wide open. I've had coaches that talk to me about it going, this is the first time now because of NIL saying, why would I go to the SEC? Yeah, it'd be nice to make $9-10 million a year if we get it rolling, but I'm in a murderer's row. Now they're going to play 9 conference games, and every week is going to be a damn fist fight. Yep. When I could go look at other place, have other a lot of money of NIL, and have a probably easier path.
Let's see, Tennessee, A&M, LSU, Texas, Missouri, 5 ranked opponents, and the 2 unranked opponents are Auburn and Mississippi State.
Right.
Good luck, Bob. We'll see what that conversation's like in November when they're staring at a 3-win season, 4-win season. I mean, ain't nobody saving that thing.
I mean, the defense has got to get a lot better. And guess what? There's a bunch of guys. Any of the few guys that could play defense on Arkansas are probably not happy that their defensive coordinator and all their guys just got blown out that morning too. So I think it gets worse before it gets better.
Peter Burns, you'll get him at Peter Burns ESPN. Encourage him to use the shot koala GIF a little bit more, or I guess I should say meme a little bit more. And Blue Delta Jeans. Yes, sir.
Hey. Real quick, yes. I'm sorry because I was you were trying to end the segment.
Aaron, you gotta get him in for at least a package for South Carolina, right? Or several packages.
Wait, what? Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, your phone cut out. Say again. Hey, do we lose him?
No, I'm sorry.
No, there you are. Wait, what were we saying?
Van Buren. I mean, you got to bring him in for a couple of packages, right, against South Carolina, non-negotiable.
I mean, I'm not eager to see it, Pete. Like, you've got Juwan Johnson, who's capable of doing all the same things. So, like, if you want to change it up, okay, I'm not opposed to that. But like, what really are you trying to accomplish?
I mean, I'm trying to accomplish actually having some type of threat of being able to run the ball. And when Pete Golden can sit there and go, you got 3 guys, and I'm going to drop everybody 8 because nobody's going to burn me.
I think
you got to try something.
I think a giant part of it, Pete, is you got to just. I mean, you realize the running backs had 2 attempts in the first half. 2. It starts with actually running the football. Like. You have to be willing to hand the ball to a running back and let them try to run, which they don't do. They've got 140 rushing attempts through 5 games. It's the fewest number of attempts in the SEC. Like, you have to be willing to try, and they're not even willing to try. That's that. I mean, I would start there, like actually handing the ball to a running back and letting them run with it.
Yeah.
That's just my crazy theory.
That's a good theory. All right.
Thank you, Peter.
Love you, miss you. Bye.
What's second? It's AFR.
AFR.
I love telling you about Duplessis Builders. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. I've told you about how they can build you a beautiful custom pool. Told you about Derek, who's a local guy, went to LSU, loves supporting the Tigers, done tons of NIL deals. But this is another way they get. I've told you about how they're on the Pool and Spa magazine's top 50 pool builders in the country. But this is an awesome thing they're doing. So Derek is donating a pool to raise money for Dreams Come True of Louisiana. I love this. They're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True of Louisiana. If you make a minimum $25 donation, you go to 1045ESPN.com, 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 make a minimum $25 purchase, or excuse me, minimum $25 donation, you're entered into the Dream Pool Sweepstakes. Someone is going to win a pool courtesy of Duplessis Builders. All you got to do is donate $25 to Dreams Come True of Louisiana. DuplessisBuilders.net.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders. We're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6th generation.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Sean Fazende will be here in an hour. A lot to talk about with the Saints. If you missed it, Kellen Moore announced they've activated Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill's 21-day window, which is exciting. That looks like you're probably going to get those guys back at some point this year, which was certainly up in the air. However, Cesar Ruiz, a little bit of breaking news, and it's up at LouisianaSports.net. Cesar Ruiz, high ankle sprain. Report is he's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. So just when you get Trevor Penning back, after missing the first 3 games of the season, now you're going to be without your right guard for, looks like 4 to 6 weeks with a high ankle sprain. We'll talk more about that coming up here in a bit. Sean Fazende again an hour from right now. After LSU lost on Saturday to Ole Miss, I think there's one very familiar question that's being asked by darn near everybody, and it's, what's wrong with Garrett Nussmeier? And there's a lot of different layers to that question. Is it physical? Is it his decision-making, awareness? A lot of different things, potentially. But the one thing that's really just undeniable is that Nussmeier, who was a 4,000-yard passer a season ago, has seen his production just plummet. Through 5 games, he's thrown for 1,159 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's been very efficient through the first 4 games until this week with the interception. But the production hasn't been there for this offense. That much is obvious. And the most common question after Saturday's loss has been, what's wrong with Nussmeier? Is he hurt? And I guess my issue with that question is that nobody had this concern just 7 days ago. And I'm not talking about beating Southeastern 56-0. I'm not talking about the fact that you ran over an FCS team. I'm talking about the fact that he was on time. He was accurate. He made all the throws. He threw accurately deep. He had zip over the middle. Like, nobody was talking about Nuss's torso 7 days ago. So did something happen in practice this week leading up, or was it something else? Like, just, again, follow the timeline with me, okay? So media's out there. We're watching practice from the start of fall camp. August 15th, it was a Friday. Nussmeier's not throwing. A day later, they're scrimmaging. He's a full go in the scrimmage. So if something was really wrong on Friday, then why is he scrimmaging on Saturday? 7 days later, it's August the 23rd, 1 week before Clemson. It's their walkthrough in Tiger Stadium. Nuss, media's there. Nuss is not throwing again. And Brian Kelly said it's just load management. They have him on a pitch count. He plays a week later against Clemson, wins National Offensive Player of the Week honors, right? Nobody's asking a question about Nussmeier's health. They play Florida on September the 13th. You all know. I mean, They scored 20 points. 7 were from the defense. The offense scored 13 points despite 5 interceptions. Kelly's asked postgame about the offense. He blows up on Cobble. And on Monday, so this would have been on September the 15th, 2 days later, Kelly discloses the torso injury.
I'll be honest, and I wasn't going to get into this, but with you guys, I will. You know, he's been slowed a little bit with a torso injury, and he's fighting through it, and he's getting better, and he's not going to be able to really shut it down until we get to the bye week.
Okay. So a lot of people said, all right, you beat Florida. He's got a torso injury. Why wait to the bye week? Shut him down against Southeastern. He goes out against Southeastern and looks sharp. I think we would all agree to that. Like, there was nothing that you saw. There was no underthrow on a deep ball. It wasn't like a wobbly 20-yarder. Like, he looked physically fine. So then you go play this game against Ole Miss. It goes badly, and now everyone's like, is Nuss hurt? All those questions are coming up again because the offense played very poorly. For what it's worth, this was the first time that Garrett Nussmeier was asked about this. First time there was media availability for Nussmeier. This is what Nuss said post-game.
I'm not going to answer any questions about my health currently. Right now, obviously, I'm frustrated about the loss. And just looking to get back, watch the tape, find ways to get better.
So, Nuss was asked if he was healthy. He says, I'm not answering questions about my health. Brian Kelly in the postgame was asked about Nuss if he was healthy. This is what Kelly said.
The quarterback is going to get micromanaged when you lose games. I get that, Jacques. Look, all I can tell you is, he's healthy. And, again, I think he would tell you, just like Tyree Adams would tell you, just like Chris Hilton would tell you, Barrow Sharp would tell you, we need to play better and more consistent on the offensive side of the ball.
So Brian Kelly says the quarterback is healthy. Is Garrett Nussmeier limited physically? Does he have the torso? Is it the knee tendonitis? Is it something with his arm? I don't know. I'm telling you candidly, I don't know. I've shared a lot of what I've been told since fall camp. You hear lots of crazy things and rumors, and it's hard to get anything solidified. But why? But if this was a problem on Saturday, why was it not a problem a week ago against Southeastern? I'm not talking about winning the game. I'm talking about the physical ability to make all the throws, which he did a week ago. And also, they took 7 deep shots against Ole Miss. They were 1 for 7 in those. You drew a few PIs, but they took 7 deep shots. They were attempting to throw the ball down the field. But ultimately, for me, what it comes back to is this. If Garrett Nussmeier is physically limited, run the ball. Right? Doesn't that seem like a pretty obvious thing to do? But on Saturday, you threw it 34 times and you ran it 21. And the game was never out of reach. It wasn't like you had to throw to play catch up. It was a 7-3 ball game until they scored at the 4:53 mark of the first half to go up 10-7. I mean, this was never out of reach. That should get you off schedule and off your plan. But I keep going back to what Cole Kublik told us before the season when I asked him why LSU last year, with 4 NFL draft picks, why they could not run block. This is what Cole said.
I don't think that offensive line could not run block last year. I don't think that offensive line was given a fair chance to be good run blockers last year.
And when you look at it, it's the same thing again. LSU, so far in this season, has not even attempted to run. For the season, LSU has 147 rushing attempts in 5 games. As a per-game average, that is the fewest rushing attempts per game in the SEC. There's some teams that have only played 4 games, so they have fewer rushing attempts. So, I also understand that on Saturday, your starting right tackle gets hurt in pregame warmups. And you're without DJ Chester for the first half because of targeting. And then Paul Mabenga gets hurt on the second drive of the third quarter. And so what's already a struggling unit is now down two starters. I get that's not ideal. But I can't help but also look and say a couple things. Number one, is pressure affecting throws? We saw it through the whole game against Ole Miss. You had 3- and 4-man fronts getting pressure. I was listening to Football Sunday with Jimmy Ott, and he had Mike Delicano and Rohan Davey on there. It's two former quarterbacks who were both giving their assessment, and they both said that when you're getting pressure with 3 or 4 and you're dropping 7 or 8 into coverage, now as a quarterback, you're uncomfortable because there are no throwing lanes. There are 7 or 8 men dropping into coverage, which means everybody is double covered. There is no clear lane to throw. And so sometimes you get frustrated, like the interception he threw into double coverage, like the pass to Tradez Green at the end of the first half after the high ball to Aaron Anderson. The pass to Tradez was into triple coverage. PFF rated that as a turnover-worthy play because it was. That's frustration, trying to make something happen in that situation. And then when they're getting pressure with a 3-man rush, not only are you trying to throw into lanes where there's defensive bodies everywhere, but now you've got pressure in your face, you're being flushed, and so now you're off target trying to throw on the run, you're moved off your spot. It makes it even harder. And to make things even worse, there is no threat of the quarterback run, which I know is something everybody's screamed about forever. But look at the other side of the field. What did Trinidad Chambliss do so well that affected LSU? When they brought pressure, he was able to convert with his feet. That was the difference. Ole Miss has a 3-man front. You've got 5 blocking him. Garrett Nussmeier didn't take off. He tried to run one time. He was sacked once, and he tried to take off one time. It's when the defender grabbed his undershirt and ripped it and got him down after a 1-yard gain. So look, Brian Kelly said back on September the 15th, he wouldn't get to be 100% until they were able to shut him down for the bye. Well, the bye is here. Shut him down. Do nothing this week and take it very easy next week in the ramp up to South Carolina. And for the love of God, commit to running the football. You've got to commit to giving your guys an opportunity to make plays in the running game, because you're not going to ever bust the 20-yard or the 50-yard if you don't commit to doing it. So I don't know if something is physically wrong with Garrett Nussmeier. What I do know is, as we follow everything that's been said, the bye is here. He can shut it down. He should be the healthiest he's been when you come back against South Carolina. But a healthy Garrett Nussmeier doesn't matter a lick if you're still having this giant imbalance run-pass, because he's still going to be throwing into 7- and 8-man coverages, and he's still going to be feeling pressure from 3-man rushes, 3- and 4-man rushes. And that's what every team is going to do until you show you are willing to run the football. Because why would they commit numbers to the box if you're not going to run it and you're just going to keep slinging it? I know this is all easier said than done, but sometimes the simplest answer is right in front of your face. Put numbers at the line of scrimmage and try to run the ball and see if that opens up your passing game. Make them commit numbers to having to stop the run and open up your passing game. Got 2 weeks to figure it out. And if they don't, it's going to be a very, very disappointing November. Everything that LSU has, every goal is very much in play. You have an incredible defense. You have a veteran quarterback that you've seen do it. You've got talented skill guys everywhere. And you have winnable games. You can win games. You can beat anyone left on your schedule if you play at what your peak is. And as Brian Kelly likes to say, complementary football. But part of the offense complementing the defense is the ability to run the football. They got to figure that out in this bye week. All right, we're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Maybe you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle. Cool. Go to South Point Volkswagen. They got all different makes and models. Yeah, they got certified pre-owned Volkswagens, but they have all different makes and models as well. So think about it. They sell so many new Volkswagens, so people trade in their old vehicle. So you can go check them out. I mean, I'm looking at the certified pre-owns right now, and they got all different makes and models. Like there's a 2020 Subaru Outback, a 2014 Nissan Pathfinder, a 2022 Mazda CX-5. Great inventory. Check them out. Mr. Kerry Manuel's a certified pre-owned manager over at South Point Volkswagen. So go check them out. New or certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Kellen Moore did meet with reporters on Monday after the team got back from their loss to the Buffalo Bills. We'll let you hear some updates from that and the unfortunate news that we all sort of anticipated on Malik Neighbors as the Giants are coming to the Dome this week. What does it mean for this weekend's matchup? We'll talk about it next on AFR.
After Further Review.
I love telling you about Clegg's Nursery, and my goodness, if you woke up on Sunday and walked outside, now it warmed up and it's 90 degrees right now, but if you woke up on Sunday and walked outside, you had a little nip in the air, you're in the upper 60s, that first little hint that fall could be near, man, it is time to get by Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations, Siegen Air Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Look, deer season is just a few days away. Buckbusters, Mobuck, deer corn, rice bran, they got it all at all 4 Clegg's Nursery locations, so pop on in. And they've got all of your fall decor. Listen, you want to plant those fall bedding plants, vegetable gardens, I got you. But they got all the decor as well. Pumpkins and hay bales and squash and gourds and scarecrows and wheat stalks and everything you need for that beautiful fall display in your front patio, your back porch, and your office building, get your school. Get on by any of the Clegg's Nursery locations. Buy local, shop local, bypass the big box store and visit Clegg's Nursery.
Baton Rouge is home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Injuries happen. Certainly not happy about it, whether it was Malik or anybody else. But unfortunately, this is a business of injury. And I feel terrible for Malik's injury. We'll see where it's at. He's an important piece of our team, but the guys that play behind him, just like last year when Slay went in, Seattle, and the week after that, whatever it may be, everybody gets paid to do a job, and it's the next man up.
That is Giants head coach Brian Daboll after the game. The Giants got the win in Jackson Dart's debut against the Chargers there in New York, but it was certainly a costly win, as by now it has been confirmed. Malik Neighbors, torn ACL. He is out for the season, so his second year in the NFL now is done prematurely. My goodness, just 4 games into the season. You probably all saw the play by now where he was running down the right sideline. He went up for ball, came down awkwardly, and immediately clutched his right knee, was carted off, and was immediately feared to be a torn ACL, and then the MRI here on Monday did in fact confirm it. So it's just massively disappointing for a local guy, obviously from Louisiana, an LSU guy who would have had the opportunity this week to come play in his home state as the Giants are coming to play New Orleans in the Superdome against the Saints this week. But there'll be no Malik Neighbors in that game. So we hope for speedy recovery for Malik to get back next year and back to his usual self. And it's one of the best receivers in the NFL. For New Orleans specifically, you never want to look at it this way, but it's the reality of an injury like this, is that it is it's kind of a, you hate to say it that way, but you kind of catch a break. Malik Neighbors is one of the best receivers in the NFL. And if we're being completely honest, Kool-Aid McKinstry so far this season has struggled mightily. On the opening possession of the game against Buffalo, they went right at Kool-Aid, and Buffalo went right down the field against him. So, this has been a bit of a tough start to the season for Kool-Aid McKinstry. So far, if you look at PFF grades, his overall grade through 4 games, Kool-Aid McKinstry's overall defensive grade through 4 games is a 48.7. That's a guy you draft. Look, by contrast, for example, Demario Davis is an 87.1. Among your starters, he's the best. Now, Isaiah Stallbird, who's played 6 snaps, has a 94.5. But among your contributors, DeMario's at an 87.1, just for context. Jonas Sanker is at a 77.3. The guy who I'd like to see more of is Quincy Riley. The rookie, he's only played 42 snaps, but his defensive grade is a 69.4. He's dinged because his tackling grade is a 33. But his coverage grade is a 60.8, which is pretty good, considering Kool-Aid's coverage grade is a 49.1. I'm not trying to throw out a bunch of numbers. You don't need to memorize this. I'm just running through PFF. It's just to illustrate, the challenge you have this week and every week going against a legit, everybody has a number one. Every team has a receiver that is their number one. And Kool-Aid McKinstry is going to draw that assignment the same way that Marshawn Lattimore did for almost a decade in New Orleans. And you felt really good every week running Lattimore out there against whoever else is number one. There were some matchups that didn't favor him, but there were some where he did an outstanding job. And he was a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback year after year after year and a legit number one. And the hope in a year like this is that someone like Kool-Aid McKinstry can elevate and emerge to prove to be that guy. And so far, it's 4 games, small sample, but that has not been the case. But you catch a break, because I would not favor Kool-Aid McKinstry in a matchup against Malik Neighbors, but with a rookie, even with a rookie quarterback throwing him the football. Well, now, if you take Malik Neighbors off the field for the Giants, that changes the dynamic of their offense, because what an incredible safety blanket for a rookie quarterback to have a guy like Malik Neighbors. Now, Wan'Dale Robinson Darius Slayton are the guys that will take that mantle, but that's just a very different dynamic than with Malik Neighbors out there. As for the New Orleans Saints, Kellen Moore met with reporters on Monday, and there's some good news. He announced that Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill have both opened up their 21-day window. They'll return to practice this week, so you're not going to have them this week, but within the next month, you could end up having those two guys back on the field. And Kellen Moore was asked about Taysom specifically, and for whenever they get him back, what he might be able to add to this offense.
Taysom's obviously a tremendous football player. He does a lot of different things. He's got a unique skill set that is tough to replicate and match in this league. And so, obviously it's been a long journey for Taysom and Foster to get back to this point, to just even be back to practice. And so we'll just see how it all progresses. But, he's obviously had such an impact on this organization for such a long time. And whenever that time comes, he's back on the field, we'll be fired up.
Didn't really go into a lot of detail there, but it's a guy who you seemingly will have back at some point. And the other player that Kellen Moore talked about on Monday is one I just referenced, which is Jonas Sanker, who among your starters is the second highest graded on PFF right now, behind only Demario Davis. And as we continue to look at a season where you're looking for future cornerstone pieces, as disappointing, it's early. I'm not like throwing dirt on Kool-Aid McKinstry after 4 games. But as disappointing of a start as it's been for McKinstry, it's been the complete 180 for Jonas Sanker, who's been outstanding.
Jonas just done an awesome job. I'm just really happy for this guy. This guy's progressing every week. He played some really hard situations this week. He made the big-time interception, but he was matched up against some of the best tight ends in the league in Buffalo, and he covered him, step for step, made some great plays on the ball, and he's coming around in just a really special way. And so I'm fired up to just see him continue to progress.
Saints are back at the facility on Monday. Of course, NFL off day on Tuesdays. We'll get to work for the New York Giants on Wednesday. The Giants opened up a slight 1-point favorite over the Saints, but it's a virtual pick'em, and that's one where the Saints are going to have an opportunity to notch their first win of the season, the first win of Kellen Moore's career, the first win of Spencer Rattler's career as well. We'll see if they can get it in the Dome on Sunday against New York. All right, we're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Again, go to the website, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Remember, one of the things that First South Farm Credit offers is their patronage refund. So every year, they share in their profits with their member borrowers, which effectively lowers your cost of borrowing. So let's say you got locked in at a 5% rate. Well, when you get your patronage refund, it's almost like you were at a 4% rate instead. It's just another way that they give back to the people that have contributed to their success for more than 100 years. It's First South Farm Credit. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. So log on to firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Monday's AFR always brought to you by Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Musil have Tigers in the pros when we come back to wrap up hour number 2. We will talk to Sean Fazende 30 minutes from right now. Get some more thoughts there on New Orleans. They get ready for New York and recap in Buffalo. And in about 15 minutes after the top of the hour, we'll run through the LSU PFF grades from LSU at Ole Miss. It's all coming up. Stay with us here on AFR.
After Further Review.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builder School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000. or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
We are wrapping up hour number 2. Hump Day shows, Monday shows, not Hump Day. I wish it were. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. They do shutters as well. Check them out, reliefwindows.com, no matter where you are, by the way. All over the Gulf South. Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. I'll just drop my pen. So I'm going to get my pen while Muso does Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
I got it.
I see that.
Muso, I got my pen.
I see that. That's a good thing.
Got it.
We'll start in Buffalo.
Got it.
Tre'Davious White.
Calica!
No. He was the leading tackler for the Bills yesterday in their victory over the Saints. 7 total stops and 1 for a loss. So, I mean, look, if you're watching the game, you saw 27 a lot out there. Good for Tre'Davious White.
Hey, Shaq.
Another defender who was all over the field. If you were watching the early game in Dublin, the Steelers and the Vikings, you saw plenty of Patrick Queen. 11 tackles, a sack, 3 TFLs, and an additional hit on the quarterback. And he wasn't even the leading tackler for the Pittsburgh defense. Justin Jefferson on the other side, 10 receptions for $126, long of 29. Still didn't find the end zone, but nonetheless, an effective day there for Justin Jefferson. K'Lavon Chaisson, and this is interesting, man. He's quietly carving himself out a nice role up there in New England. 2 more stops and another sack for him in the big victory over the Panthers. Through 4 weeks, he's up to 2.5 sacks. For a guy whose career started really slowly, he had a nice year with the Patriots last year, and again, off to a pretty nice start here. And then lastly, Danielle Hunter. Speaking of sacks, my goodness. 2 more for him. 4 total stops in the ball game. He had 3 hits on the quarterback. Hunter, if you're just curious, keeping track, he's up to 4 sacks on the season through 4 weeks as well.
Pretty good
for the Texans. And then Derek
That's
Stingley,
like 1 a game.
Yeah, it is. And then Derek Stingley Jr., not to be outdone, 2 stops and an interception. His first interception of the year. He did return that for 20 yards before eventually being brought down.
He's pretty good, too.
He's having a great year as well. Yeah, I mean, Texans defense, that's not really the problem. Their offense has been a much bigger issue. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. We always say Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. And, of course, if you need to schedule service, we always tell you about tires, name brand tires at wholesale prices, which they will sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. But at Shaw Bills, not only will they sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices, but any type of service that you need, they will keep you rolling. And they've been doing that since 1968. My goodness, 1968. Coming up on like 60 years. It's incredible. Mr. Charlie opened the doors in 1968. They've continued to grow and expand, servicing all of South Louisiana, still locally owned and operated. His daughter, Miss Beth, runs the company. We told you, so proud. Miss Beth named Modern Tire Dealer of the Year, National Award this year. And we love our partnership with our friends over at Shaw Bills because they'll treat you like family. Name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they'll treat you like family. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. Putting a button here on hour number 2. When we come back after Sports Center, I want to dive into the Pro Football Focus grades. We do that every week, recapping the LSU game. And as I often say, PFF sometimes, it will either confirm or disconfirm what the eye test showed you. And in a couple of instances, oh yeah, it'll confirm what you saw. But there's one interesting tidbit, I think, on the flip side that may surprise you based on how that game played out. We'll get to the PFF grades and then Sean Fazende about 20 minutes from right now talking some black and gold. Stay with us. Stay AFR.
AFR.
Supper Club is closed today, and they're closed Sunday, Monday, but they'll be back open on Tuesday to Saturday. And with the open date this week, oh, what a perfect time to experience Supper Club. Maybe you've never been. Book your reservation. Do it now. Don't wait. Just jump. Jump right now. Go to supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com, book your reservation. Maybe you've been, but it's been a while. Chef Layton does an awesome job of introducing new things onto the menu. Like maybe you've tried every steak they have. Well, maybe try the bison next time. Last time I went about 2 weeks ago, had the bison for the first time. It was outstanding. You can go through the menu and try everything at Supper Club because everything is going to be the best thing you've ever had. It is the premier dining experience in Baton Rouge and, quite honestly, in the country. I mean, there are literally steaks on the menu that you can't get it, but maybe a handful of restaurants in the entire United States, and it's right there on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge. Book your reservation at Supper Club.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parrish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parrishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parrishbuilt.com.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme American rice.
At Sunshine,
We know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Builders School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Wild Card Series getting going tomorrow in baseball. Teams that missed the playoffs doing some evaluating. Couple managers dismissed today. The Twins are firing Rocco Baldelli after 7 years with the team. Twins went 70-92 this season, 19-35 post-trade deadline. Only the Rockies were worse in baseball. The Giants are firing Bob Melvin after an 81-81 season. San Francisco has not made the playoffs since 2021. The Mets, meanwhile, retaining manager Carlos Mendoza despite an end-of-season nosedive. President of baseball operations David Stern says they will evaluate the rest of the coaching staff this week. Red Sox getting set for the Wild Card Series against the Yankees. Righty Lucas Giolito will not be on the roster with an elbow injury. In the NFL, Chargers tackle Joe Alt suffered a high ankle sprain in yesterday's loss to the Giants. Team still uncertain on severity. Ravens dealing with some big injuries. All-pro linebacker Roquan Smith suffered a hamstring strain, will miss a few weeks. Star defensive tackle Nnamdi Metabike out for the season.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We make the claims process easy so you can get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR. Presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser.
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom. Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And if you're watching, welcome in to the newly minted Raising Canes studio. We got the Canes logo up top on front of the set. We got Cane 3 hanging out with us. The giant plushie Cane 3, not the actual dog. However, Todd, if you want to bring Cane 3 into the studio at any point, the studio that bears her name, we're more than happy to have her as a special guest, and you, whenever you'd like. And, of course, we always encourage you, do game day the Canes way. Whether you're tailgating or cheering from the couch, fuel your crew with Raising Canes, hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and the MVP of every bite, cane sauce. Had Canes for lunch today. Raising Canes. We had our... So this morning, as we're the official launch of our Canes partnership here in the naming rights of our studio, Aaron and all the great people over at Canes and their marketing department came over, and they brought just a buttload, technical term, of Cane's. They brought chicken fingers and fries and toast and slaw and sweet tea and lemonade and everything. And the third floor here is kind of lonely because it's the ESPN studio. And then there's some offices, like Rivers, her office is here. Muse and Paulie, their office are here, our editors. But, like, the salespeople never come here. You know, they're on the other side of the building. You know, like the Eagle 98.1, Talk 107.3, 100.7, the Tiger. They never come up here.
No.
The finance people never come up here.
Never.
Ever.
Not a lot of foot traffic.
Had our 10 a.m. meeting, our company-wide meeting, and they announced in the meeting that Cane's had dropped off a bunch of food. So I went from the fourth floor down here because I had to talk to Jake and Flynn, Hester and Flynn, and I opened the door from the stairwell, and there was just a giant herd of people.
Everyone was here, yeah.
They all came to eat. I'm like, yeah, I tell you what's an undeniable truth about radio people. No matter what market you're in, what format it is, you around radio, there's free food, they're going to find it. I mean, radio people got a sixth sense for free food. You put food out, somebody say free food? And then here comes the line. Vultures, man. Vultures was gone. All that Cane's was gone in a millisecond. I think there were 2 little cups of slaw left. Somebody call Coach O.
That's not.
What?
I just forgot. I forgot that Coach O loves the slaw.
That's a fireable offense, by the way. That alone. No toast, extra slaw was his order.
That's brutal.
Who goes for the extra slaw?
I don't know. I mean, like I can understand you eating the slaw, but extra
slaw? Who goes for the extra
slaw? The extra slaw that makes it egregious.
I don't even want coleslaw ever in my life, ever.
I could do it at a barbecue.
No, I don't ever want it, ever. That's not taking up valuable real estate on my plate or in my belly. My caloric intake is not going to be like lettuce and mayonnaise and what else is in there? Some little carrots. What else is in there?
I think there's some celery, I think.
Yeah, no, that's never taken up space in my belly. Not interested. Give me some extra fries. Throw me an extra piece of toast in there.
Them crinkle cut fries.
Yeah, give me some of that.
Oof.
Not interested. Not interested in the slaw. Keep it. Everything else was gone though.
What about the honey mustard from Cane's? Did you ever try it?
No. That seems blasphemous too. I didn't even know they had honey mustard.
They do. They brought some here. They brought some here. That's why I was asking you if you.
I'm just interested in the cane sauce.
Okay. I mean, me too.
Why would I want honey mustard when you have something that's so perfect? Why deviate?
I agree.
I was just curious. Doesn't make a lick of sense. Well, that was a good distraction from the game and talking about this.
You want me to keep going? I can keep going. I love
probably should get back on track.
Okay.
I'm sure the Cane's folks are happy that we're
I'd eat it every night.
You eat Cane's every night?
I said if I could, I'd eat it every night.
Well,
if
you could.
Yeah, but I mean, you know.
You literally could.
Maybe they could work out some kind of deal. I mean, I'll do it.
They don't close. I mean, they close.
Some of them do
for dinner. I mean, they don't close for dinner. I mean, there's 7 days a week and go to.
It's my favorite. I love it. I really do. I love it.
I think we're gonna leave the big plushie in here every day.
I agree. I think we should do that.
Just right there.
Yeah.
Why not? It's perfectly placed right there on the side too. Doesn't block the Relief Windows logo.
Nope.
Might need to turn Kane a little bit just so we could see the logo on the scarf. But I think most people know what that is.
Yeah, I think they get it. Yeah,
probably. All right. So Pro Football Focus has released their grades for LSU against Ole Miss. And I'll give you the caveat that I always do. Pro Football Focus is a metric. It's not the metric. It's just something to consider because you and I typically, when we're watching football, we watch the ball. The quarterback throwing it, the running back running it, the receiver catching it, the person making the tackle, that sort of thing. We are typically not watching on a toss sweep to the right what the left guard is doing. That's just generally not what we're looking at. Well, Pro Football Focus does. So it's a good way to kind of take and assess everything that they see. For Ole Miss, against Ole Miss offensively, 5 of the top 6 graded players were receivers. That's a problem. On a day when you put up 200, what did I say it was? 250 something?
That's 256 yards is what it was.
256, it's on my other sheet of paper. On a day when you put up 256 yards offense and 5 of your top 6 rated players are receivers, that's a problemo. Nick Anderson, Kyle Parker, Xavion Thomas, then Harlem Berry, 4. Berry and Brown, Aaron Anderson, 5-6. When you go to the bottom, starts to tell the story. Trades Green, from bottom up. Trades Green, Caleb Jackson, Tyree Adams, Bauer Sharp, Josh Thompson, Garrett Nussmeier at a 57.5. By far, Garrett Nussmeier's lowest graded performance of the season at a 57.5. And you throw a bad interception, you have 2 turnover-worthy plays. It's gonna play out like that. So for what it's worth, if you look at Nuss for the season on his grades so far, his offensive grades, Clemson was a 67. Tech was a 78.8. Florida 76.9. Southeastern 92.3. And then a 57.5. Giant outlier. His worst game by a mile. And it showed. And it hurt your offense. But when you peel back the layers of the onion, you look at the blocking grades, and this is kind of what tells the story of the game for LSU. Your pass blocking actually wasn't awful by a couple of guys. Cohen Eccles graded at 84.6. And Carius Kern was at an 80.5. Not bad. I mean, on 41 pass blocking snaps, Carius Kern allowed 1 pressure. He was good at right tackle. Pass protection. Josh Thompson was at a 64. Paul Mabenga was at a 62. Braylon Moore was at a 59. Here's your problem. Tyree Adams was at a 39. Rough day for Tyree Adams. And then when you look at the run blocking grades, this is abysmal. Kern, a 42. Eccles, a 55. Adams, a 57. Mabenga, a 57. Thompson, a 59. And Braylon Moore was your highest graded lineman with a 62 run blocking grade. What's your problem? That's your problem. You struggle to run behind that offensive line, so you abandon it. You don't even try. It's the thing they've got to get fixed and do so in a hurry. And it's really disappointing because you have talented guys. And I know it's easy to blame play calling, and I'm not absolving Joe Sloan. He's the one ultimately that's choosing not to have balance in the offense, and that's a problem. That falls squarely at Joe Sloan's feet. You look at the 2-point conversion play, which is brutal. It's a terrible decision. However, if you go watch the play, Tyree Adams completely and wholly whiffs his block and gets Juwan Johnson killed. Now, if Tyree Adams makes that block, Johnson's still going to have a hard time scoring, but he's got a lane. He's going to have to run over a guy or break a tackle, but he's got an opportunity. But Tyree Adams whiffed the block and got him killed. So what's wrong with the running game? All of it. The play calling. Sometimes it's the back's vision, the inability to block across the board. It's all a mess right now. Defensively, I'll tell you, this tells the story. Your secondary was awesome in this game, and you're going to look at the stats and say, huh? But when you realistically look at it, where Lane attacked LSU was not at your cornerbacks and safeties. A.J. Halsey, P.J. Woodland, Mansour Delane were your 3 highest-rated defenders. At the bottom, Buddy Mathis, Devon Keys, DJ Pickett, Deshaun Spears, West Weeks, Dom McKinley. It was the young guys. They targeted Pickett when he was in the game, drew a PI. They targeted Devon Keys. His coverage grade was a 45. Pickett's coverage grade was a 47. Spears' coverage grade was a 49. They went after lane schemed mismatches with LSU's ends and linebackers. And that's because he's a great coach. He's a great offensive mind. That's objectively true. That's no one can argue to the contrary. The question with Lane Kiffin is if he can ever get his team over the hump to win a championship. But he is an objectively elite level play caller and offensive schemer. And he schemed a lot of mismatches for his team, which does not have true game breakers, but he found mismatches. And it's how they were able to move the ball consistently the way they did. But even still, despite being on the field for 84 plays, despite being on the field for 84 plays, you allowed only 24 points. Considering what they were up against, it was a hell of an effort by the defense. The offense could have found a way to score 30 against one of the worst defenses in the SEC. You win that game. That's what LSU's got to figure out. Okay. It's after further review. Let's knock out a break. Sean Fazande's here. I want his thoughts on, can he give us an update on Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau? Cesar Ruiz out for 4 to 6 weeks. How do they replace him? Could the Saints get their first win of the year against the Giants? Toggle black and gold with Sean Fazende next.
AFR.
Hey, guys, if you are currently on HRT, hormone replacement therapy, testosterone replacement therapy, and I know a lot of you are. I am. I've told you openly for years I have been. It's been life-changing, as I'm sure it has been for many of you as well. Something I want you to consider, if you would, is switching from whoever you're with now to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'll give you 2 really important reasons why. Number 1, lowest prices, never any contracts, right? So most places are never going to put you in a contract, but Goodwood has the best prices. So lowest prices, never any contracts. And number 2, when you do your 4 to 6 month blood labs, other places make you pay for those. And they can run up to $200. Goodwood picks up that tab. So you will literally save money by doing the same service you're at right now with Goodwood. YourGoodwood.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Hey, at the end of the day, we didn't meet our goal. We didn't win the football game. We have to look into all the little details. Felt like penalties we cleaned up. We created a big-time turnover. I think Jonas's play was just an incredible play to create that turnover. And we ran the football a lot better. I think that was an important part going into that game versus that opponent, but also just for us as an identity on offense. And so I felt like our guys took some really good steps there, and we played some really good football. We just, we didn't win enough of the hard downs, the tough downs, the third downs, the red zone. They made more plays in those critical situations than we did.
Kellen Moore still looking for his first win as a head coach. Sean Fazende, Fox 8 New Orleans, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. How are you, dude?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing really well. After the Seattle debacle, they fought hard, but there's no moral victories in the NFL. So where do you fall on what you really should take out of the game in Buffalo?
That's a great question. We kind of, did a podcast on that down here just a few hours ago, as a matter of fact. I guess I err slightly on the positive side while realizing just how, frankly, sad it is that we're, drawing the positive off of a 12-point loss on the road in the NFL based off of how they played the week before. But I think that's kind of where it's at. I think at the end of the day, they were able to hone in. They were able to do two things well. And that was they cleaned up the penalties. They played disciplined football. And they ran the ball, and they cleaned up the penalties and ran the football, and were able to hang, with a Super Bowl contender, maybe the best team in the NFL right now, for 4 quarters in the game. And I know how far we've fallen to celebrate that, but I do think that's overall it's a net positive, I guess you'd say, when I kind of evaluate the game. Now, in saying that there's still plenty of issues, and I think they were pretty glaring in that game, but I think that was probably the biggest positive lesson that you take from it. If you play disciplined football and you run the football effectively, you can be in the game with everyone. You're not like Buffalo that can overcome 11 penalties in the game like they had. But if you keep your penalties at bay and run the football, you can at least be in the game.
You said there were plenty of glaring issues. What from that game? What do you put at the top of the list?
I would say a lack of timely playmaking when the opportunities are there. You just have, Matt, there was 3 straight drives in the second quarter, and I was at the stadium. It was a little bit of anxiety in that stadium because the Bills were in a little bit of a funk, and the Saints had them pinned back at their own, deep in their own territory. They started 3 straight drives in Bills territory, 3 straight, and got 3 points. That was your chance right there, 3 points. You do the Philly special. I'm not sure where you come down on it. I actually didn't have a problem with him trying to, play to win. It felt like I really didn't have a problem, but it was one of those, if it works, great. If it doesn't, it looks like an idiot. I thought the safety made an incredible play. I thought Rattler was open. Olave doesn't throw the ball. He probably won't throw it again.
That's my problem.
And then the big one is, that's a huge one. And then the next big one was, this is the 3rd week in a row Spencer Rattler has an in-breaking route to a wide-open receiver in the end zone, and he misses by a wide margin. It's not like it was a close call. Brandon Cooks makes the great play to go down and get it. I thought it was a touchdown. In fact, it was called a touchdown in the stadium at first, but then was correctly overturned. So you missed that opportunity to take the lead in the fourth quarter. In the midst of that second quarter sequence, Pete Werner drops an interception at the 15-yard line or whatever it is. So the opportunities are there to make the plays to win the game or give yourself the best chance to win the game in the end, and they're just consistently not making those plays, and that's infuriating.
To what do you attribute their inability to make those plays?
I think roster, one. I think just an inability to rise to the occasion. I do think there's some coaching involved as well, depending on where you fall on certain play calls. I didn't necessarily feel like Kellen Moore's offensive game plan was bad this week. They ran the ball effectively, and they were able to move the ball. At some point, your players have to make plays. So I lean more towards, in a situation like that, you get the call, you go execute it. I lean more towards the players in that situation. Just either you can do it or you can't. And more often than not, they haven't been able to do it first, 4 weeks of the season.
On Twitter at Sean Fazende, Fox 8. You mentioned the pod. Where can people go listen if they want to download the pod?
Yeah, wherever you get your podcast. Also, the Fox 8 Overtime YouTube channel as well. It's called the Fox 8 Overtime Podcast. We do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so check that out.
Okay, Fox 8 Overtime Podcast. You want to check that? I will. I'll listen to it tonight. Maybe some good news, Sean. I was a little surprised to hear Kellen Moore say that they've opened the 21-day window for Foster Moreau and Taysom Hill. Can you add any color there to let us know what the possibilities are with those two?
Yeah, well, I'm with you. First off, I was very surprised. I've seen Taysom and Foster at every game. I saw him at every practice. Talked to Foster, I think it was the last preseason game. That's when he told me he wasn't going to be ready for opening day, but that obviously he was progressing well. And sometimes, when a player tells you they're recovering well, you never really know. It's kind of vague. And considering when he got injured and he hurt all 3 ligaments in his knee, one of the last plays of the season, very surprised. Taysom's case, the same thing. But, you activate that practice window. So now you got 3 weeks or 21 days to put him on the active roster. So it's getting closer now. I thought, the addition of Taysom Hill to this offense can be such a shot in the arm, such a breath of fresh air for a young rookie head coach that could use some breaks right now. A guy, Taysom's one of the few game breakers that they have on this roster. Assuming he's still got it. I know he's 35 years old, coming off another injury, but assuming he can still beat Taysom at least in spurts. What an addition to an offense that needs somebody that can break a game open. Think about that, a play that gets lost yesterday, Matt, is that 2-point conversion. You run the QB power with Spencer Rattler there, run that with Taysom, and then if you miss the Brandon Cooks touchdown, you're kicking it, and it's a tie game at that point. So just little things like that, bringing a guy like Taysom aboard, and you've seen it. He's got the ability to take over a game and just kind of get out of his way. So I think that could be the shot in the arm this offense needs to at least get a little more, get some of that positive mojo back. Because, look, they're doing some decent things, but they're not playing nearly consistent enough to be a quality offense right now.
Yeah. It's amazing, Sean. Good players make you better.
That's it.
It's just true. They just don't have enough of them right now. You're so right. All the plays you just described, it's just Pete Werner dropping an interception. It's Spencer Rattler not executing a touchdown pass that would have given them the lead with 9 minutes to go on the road against Buffalo.
Yep.
You got to make the throw. In any event, I guess the disappointing news is that Cesar Ruiz, I saw the reports, out 4 to 6 weeks with the high ankle sprain. So you get Penning back now. Ruiz is out. So how do they replace him on the right side?
That's interesting because you'll see what happens with Radens if he had the toe injury, how close he is to coming back. Is he a guy that can play the right side? That's a possibility. I know they had Simpkins up. He was the first man up when Ruiz went down. I think Simpkins is a guy that's played admirably, but I do think there's some deficiencies in his game as well as an undrafted rookie, and that's rightfully so. Perhaps if he's a guy that's practicing all week, he can give himself a better chance to have some success. It's not like he played terrible yesterday, but I think you understand what I'm saying there. If you can get a guy like Radens back and he's capable of playing that right side, you might be in decent shape up front. But it's kind of the musical chairs you deal with the offensive line in particular. It's just that one position group just seems to deal with injury after injury. They got the fresh starting 5 for 2 quarters this season, and it looks like it's going to be at least another 4 to 6 weeks before they even have the chance to get that back again, assuming there are no other injuries up front, which is obviously a dangerous assumption to make. So I think that would probably be the plan right now. If Radens isn't back healthy enough, they'd probably turn to Simpkins. And I have to go back and look to see if there's any practice squad guy they can bring up, because they'd obviously have to have a reserve guy they can bring up to be the swing guy or to be the backup interior guy on game day.
But you don't think that they would go looking into free agency or anything like someone who's just an available free agent or someone else's practice squad? You think they're content with the guys they have?
Depending on how he plays, I could see them at some point looking at another practice squad or the veteran workout circuit that seems to pop up every week in the NFL.
Sure.
I think certainly that would be a possibility, and that could happen this week, even with Simpkins playing. Just because you got to have depth on your roster, even if it's a practice squad transaction and possibly an elevated practice squad transaction on game day. We'll see, but all those options are on the table. Like they've dealt with it before. They've dealt with it all year when it comes to kind of the juggling up front of the offensive line. So we'll see what happens.
I'm looking at DraftKings right now, Sean. The Saints are a 1.5 point
How about that?
favorite over the Giants. I'm not terribly surprised. I looked at one of the offshore early look-ahead lines last night, which had the Giants 1.5. So I don't know if that's where DraftKings opened it, it's moved, or if they've opened it at 1.5, whatever. But the point being, Saints are a slight favorite. What do you think about their opportunity to get on the board, get in the win column this week?
I think it's a fantastic opportunity. And, Garland Gillen, our resident Vegas guy here at Fox 8, he tells me that line is definitely moved. So I guess the money's coming in on the Saints. So that line is definitely moved. So I think it's a fantastic opportunity. The month of October opens up a few opportunities over the next 3 to 4 weeks if you're the Saints. But you're playing a rookie, making his second start, first on the road. I know he injected some life into the Giants offense over there, but they only scored, was it 13 or 16 points this week? I'd have to go back and check out. I know they won, but I don't think he lit them up in terms of the way he played.
Yeah, they won. They won 21-18, and of course they lost Malik Neighbors too.
That's right. Yeah. I would think it's a golden opportunity to get back on the board. You get that first win for Kellen Moore, that first win for Spencer Rattler, who, look, he's been trying hard. It's just to go 0 for 10. It's just, man, that's just a tough stretch, and it's hard to do in the NFL. So this will be one of his better opportunities to get that elusive W, and hopefully he can get it done because this team needs one right now.
Sean Fazende, Fox 8, he's on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Sean Fazende, Fox 8, and the Fox Overtime Podcast. The Fox 8 Overtime Podcast. Fox 8 Overtime Podcast. Wherever you get podcasts or on YouTube, be sure to check it out. Always appreciate it, man. Thank you for the time.
All right, bud. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you. Brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, WilliamsonEye.com. This weekend, Saturday, is Federalis Fest, great music festival outdoors here in Baton Rouge. You want to get tickets, you can learn more, federalisfest.com, presented by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020. Was talking to a buddy actually on Friday. We're actually at Don Juan after AFR, and I won't tell you who it was, but needed help from Alondra to see his ticket to pay his bill. I said, man, my eyes are so bad. I said, you got to call Blake Williamson. Never had eye trouble his whole life. And now, as we all do our eyes age, start to have trouble. So he's farsighted, but can't see things up close. It's probably a familiar refrain for a lot of you. You need the readers or whatever it may be. Don't do that. Don't put them readers on the end of your nose, man. Let's go to the Williamson Eye Center. They have a refractive procedure for every age or refractive issue that can help you see perfect without contacts or glasses. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. You owe it to yourself just to go for the consultation. Don't put it off. Call today, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Every Monday, Muse, Paulie, and I come back after the football weekend. We give you 3 college football takeaways. We'll do that coming up here in just a smidge. We know the Super Bowl halftime show. This is going to shock all of you. I have no idea who this person is that is going to be performing at halftime at the Super Bowl. Jimmy's here for Otter Locks in 15 minutes. We got a ton to do. It's AFR. Stay here.
AFR.
I got the green light today to start letting you know it is time to call River City's 1 Hour Air for the preseason heater safety check. This is so important, y'all. Before the cold weather comes, before you turn on your heater for the first time, you want to make sure that you have this heater safety check. Your heater is dormant for months. Let's be honest. It's a small window in Louisiana where we're using our heater. So it's dormant for months. It can collect dust. It can become hazardous. Before you turn on your heater, call River City's 1 Hour Air. They'll come out. They'll do the heater safety check. Mention the Moscona special. They'll save $30 off that. If you're part of their membership club, their maintenance club, you get that as a free complimentary service. But get the heater safety check now from River City's 1 Hour Air.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
In South Louisiana, you can always count on good people coming together to help our children.
At Dreams Come True, we grant wishes for Louisiana children with life-threatening illnesses. But to do this, we need funds.
That's why we're trying to raise $100,000 for Dreams Come True by giving away the Blessed Children's School.
Make your backyard's dream come true while helping our kids.
Just go to dreampoolla.com and you can find out how your $25 donation might help win you a Duplessis pool.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Well, there it is. Rolling along. Glad to have you with us here on this Monday edition of AFR. Always love telling you about Relief Windows. Great sponsor every single Monday. Big shout out to Brandon Holly as well. They had the Capitol Gala's Best Dressed this weekend, and Brandon was one of the best dressed honorees. Great fundraiser in the capital city annually, raising money for the American Cancer Society, and Brandon was a great part of that. Adrian, his wife, has been one of the best dressed honorees in the past as well. It's a great fundraiser, great night, and a good time team was had by all. And, of course, Relief Windows, always a great sponsor of that. So much philanthropy they do in our market and all over. Just amazing people. We're thrilled to be partnered with them and to be friends with the Hollies. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Okay, college football takeaways. Hit it, Muse.
Another week in the books. What did we learn about the landscape of college football?
There we got it. Got it there. Okay, Muse, start us off there.
Yeah, I mean, I learned that Oregon is the most complete team in the Big Ten this season so far. I hear Ohio State. I get it. For me, when it comes down to, I think Oregon's a little bit more explosive on offense so far through the first 5 weeks of the season. They went into Happy Valley, wide out, and just shut down that Penn State offense, including the running game, which is objectively very good. Before Penn State tied the game late, they were still being held to just 189 total yards. I really, really like the Oregon Ducks. Dan Lanning pretty much just reloaded.
I mean, they did give up 2 late scores to tie it, and Penn State was a 4th down stop away from winning the game.
They did, and then they won the game.
But it also nullifies everything you just said about a great defense. They gave up a late lead.
They gave up a late lead.
Would it have been different if Penn State gets the 4th down stop and wins the game. I don't know, man.
I like him a lot.
I think they could play again today, and I wouldn't be surprised if Penn State won it. They're a good team, though. Good team. I don't think there's a dominant team. There's just no great team.
I said they're the most complete. I didn't say dominant.
I don't agree with that. I don't think there's any separation among any of those in the Big Ten. I don't know. All right, Paulie, go.
Same old USC. Illinois walked off the Trojans 34-32.
Yeah, they did.
The mustard team.
The mustard team.
Erica called them the mustard team. My wife knows nothing about sports. It's hilarious. All right, go ahead, Paulie. Sorry.
That was about right. It was USC. They can occasionally excite, but they ultimately fall flat. This was USC's first real test of the season, and they failed. Michigan and Notre Dame await them the next 2 weeks.
I think Ohio State is the most complete team in the Big Ten. See, Muse?
I disagree with that.
Actually, I don't think they are. But they can make a very solid argument. Ohio State crossed several time zones, went to Seattle, and defensively suffocated a pretty good Washington team. Held the Huskies to just 6 points on the day. 4-0 Buckeyes. They're ranked number 1 in the country again. I, on a neutral field, think I'd probably take Ohio State over any other team in the Big Ten right now. A long way to go, but we also had the question about Julian saying first big-time road start and passed that test. Ohio State. Buckeyes.
Jeff Lebby's the right guy for Mississippi State. I don't know if he's going to be there long enough to have any long-term success, but the way he has that team playing, the way he went to work and rebuilt, difficult situation he took over from Zach Arnett, the passing of Mike Leach and all that, they go 2-10, and man, the fire, the competitive spirit that team play, they believe they're going to go out there and win no matter who they're playing. They've got some really tough games. They might not even make a bowl game, but I think what you've seen early, that's great returns for Jeff Lebby. I think he's the right guy there.
Cashed that ticket too, by the way.
Me too.
It was fun.
It was really never in doubt.
Last week?
I
think State's going to beat A&M this year too, by the way.
I mean, bro,
I'll save
they're
that.
good.
I'll save that, but mark that away. Paulie.
Virginia, they're making their case for the ACC title.
God, that was
They
an awesome game.
knocked off Florida State in double overtime. This was Virginia's first home victory over a top 10 team since beating the Seminoles in 2005. ESPN's FBI gives Virginia a 14.1% chance to win the ACC. That is the second highest odds behind Miami. Also, that field storm looked like a stampede. That was crazy.
Who are you talking about?
Virginia.
I see your Virginia, and I raise you Georgia Tech.
Okay.
Georgia Tech beat Wake Forest, squeaked past Wake Forest.
Ooh, they were down for a while, man.
Have you looked at the rest of Georgia Tech's schedule?
I have. I did that after the Clemson game.
It's hypothetical. Not hypothetical. That was
rhetorical.
Rhetorical. Thank you. Virginia Tech, Duke, Syracuse, NC State, Boston College, Pitt, Georgia. They don't play another ranked team. Well, Georgia, but not in the conference. Is Georgia Tech going to college football playoff? Georgia Tech may be 11-1, undefeated in the ACC, play Miami in the ACC championship game, probably lose. But then, just like SMU a year ago, they'll probably make the playoff. Georgia Tech, let this seep into your brain. Georgia Tech is a real, legit. Long way to go, and they could joke and whatever, but there is a real legitimate chance that Georgia Tech is going to be a college football playoff team.
I think there's a legitimate chance that Hugh Freeze doesn't make it to November at Auburn. The offense is not good. The one thing you had success with early was running Jackson Arnold. That has gone by the wayside now. Hugh Freeze is an offensive coach. You're on bye if you're Auburn right now. Then you host Georgia and Missouri. You lose back-to-back home games to those teams, and I think you have a decision to make right there at that point. Now, you have Arkansas and Kentucky after that where you can get back, but you lose those 2 games, you're 3-4, he's back under 500. It might be time.
By the way, at LouisianaSports.net, we have up right now the odds on the next Arkansas coach and the next coach to be fired and the betting favorite to be the next coach fired with 2-1 odds. Is Hugh Freeze at Auburn. He has now surpassed Billy Napier, who's at 5-2.
It's not good on the Plains, man.
And then Mark Stoops, the SEC. Just firing people out here. Paulie.
You just mentioned it right there. Arkansas is looking for a new head coach.
Yes, I did.
And right now, their new head coach is Bobby Petrino, part 2.
How about that?
I'm interested to see if Arkansas can get the interim bump under Petrino. We all know the history. And you mentioned earlier that he has started doing some staff changes, fired 3 defensive assistants, including defensive coordinator Travis Williams. His first test will be Tennessee in 2 weeks.
Big 12.
So much fun.
I have no idea. It's a league that has a super low ceiling and a high floor. And so you have a bajillion teams just all crumpled together that are all the same. And it is impossible to figure out. Arizona State beat TCU, the old unranked favorite over ranked. Iowa State and Arizona State are undefeated in conference. BYU's undefeated overall as well. So I'm looking at undefeated. Iowa State, Arizona State, BYU, Houston, Texas Tech, Cincinnati. That's 6 teams that are all undefeated right now. What?
It's so much fun.
I mean, is Texas Tech the best team?
They looked real good against Utah.
Is it Arizona State? Does Utah stink? Is Iowa State and Matt Campbell, are they back?
You know I like Iowa State.
Is BYU the best? Really? I in-gamed BYU when they were down to Colorado.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
That's a heady play.
Like to cash that ticket late at night when everybody else was sleeping. That Big 12. It's so mediocre, but man, is it fun.
It's awesome.
It is really fun. Okay, there you go. Those are college football takeaways. It's after further review. We are brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Man, I rolled into Rouse's yesterday, as a matter of fact. Needed me some Evermore. You want one big 64-ounce bottle? Get it. You want the 4-pack? You can get it. You want game day party platters and trays? You can get it. Did you know it's Bourbon Heritage Month? Did you know that? It's Bourbon Heritage Month if you didn't know that. Amazing selection at great prices over at Rouse's. Which Rouse's? Any Rouse's. There's like 70 of them. Lake Charles to Orange Beach, points in between. Find the location nearest you at Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com, or download the Rouse's app. Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, y'all. What a show. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Peter Burns was here last hour. Thanks to Sean Fazende with us just a bit ago. If you missed it, we gave you our full recap of the LSU loss against Ole Miss. Talked last time about what's wrong with Garrett Nussmeier. The Saints lost to the Bills. We talked a little bit about Pro Football Focus grades. Malik Neighbors out with a torn ACL. Tons. We're just jam-packed football stuff today. So if you missed anything, AFR On Demand podcast or YouTube, just search AFR LSU for LSU content, AFR Saints for Saints content, or if you want the full show in its entirety, just search After Further Review. It's that easy. Okay. We'll come back and wrap it up with Jimmy Bad Bunny Ott with a little otter locks. Save it.
AFR.
Matthew Bad Bunny Musso. We're sticking with that now. Jareth Bad Bunny Knockan. That's the owner of Glow Resources. That's not his name. But if the NFL was looking for a Super Bowl halftime performer, well, no, that actually wouldn't be a good opportunity to call Glow Resources. I was trying to tie it all together. But at Glow Resources, they're complete employer solutions. They're trying to help you find permanent solutions. And the Super Bowl halftime performer is like literally just one day. And then next year you have to find another one. So it's not a permanent solution. But no matter what your business is, if you're looking for the right employees as a permanent solution, not temp staffing, you need a new operations manager. You need skilled blue-collar labor. You need welders, pipe fitters, heavy crane operators. They can do all of that. They can find all of that for you with a 96% success rate. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online. Start there at glowresources.com.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And oh, we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here. Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. How to get my swig of Evermore. EVAMOR, evermore.com. Shout out. Okay. Bad Bunny's going to play the halftime show. And I understand that Jimmy Ott is a gigantic Bad Bunny fan. So let's talk to Jimmy. Hit it.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
How fired up are you about Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny.
It's our demographic, right, Otter?
It's almost Saturday Night Live.
They announced that last night, Otter. I was like, I not only could I not name it a song, I don't even know who that is. I'm quite positive I've never even heard the words Bad Bunny before. It was one of those you know you're old when moments. Having a lot of those lately.
Oh, well, it's full of Bad Bunnies on this Monday.
Hey!
Black Monday, yes.
No, what a day for Football Sunday yesterday.
Yeah.
Fantastic day. And a couple of Monday Night Football games tonight.
Yeah, it's I guess they'll be comparing the ratings. Last time the Monday night doubleheader, it was staggered. Tonight is 3 overlapped. One starts 6:15, the other 7:15. So we'll see about that.
Yeah.
But the Jets, and the New York teams on prime time are 4-31. Their last 35. So
I know
who's
you
our
go.
hottest?
I know you go in on this every time. They keep forcing it down our throats. The Jets in prime time.
You want some more Jets? You want some more Giants? You want some more Jets? We love them. Can't get enough of them. So our hottest football handicapper on Football Sunday is Randy McKay. He is a perfect 3-0, and his fourth pick of the weekend is Miami Dolphins. So Dolphins -2.5. That's the strongest play. I'm on that as well. So and this Jets defense. Remember, it was like, man, they have a great defense. They just can't. They just need a quarterback, and we know about the first game when Rodgers got hurt, but. Man, this Jets defense has not been good. Now, Miami's hasn't either, but we're going to go with the home team here, the Dolphins -2.5. Then the late game, it's not my favorite play. I'm telling you, I really don't. So interesting. You talk about a player that's a quarterback that's getting all the help but just not performing. Is Bo Nix. Bo Nix, his offensive line has been graded out really well. I mean, their running game has been graded out well. He just has not performed. So we'll see if Cincinnati's backup quarterback is going to continue to throw the ball into trouble. But I just think it's a little bit too much points here. I'm going to
1 minute
stop
remaining
with the dog here and take the Bengals plus the 7.5.
Jimmy, didn't somebody on Football Sunday have Denver? I'm scrolling back to find now. I thought somebody had Denver. I'd have to hurry. Anyway, okay, so we're looking at a Miami laying 2.5, and then we're rolling with Cincinnati and the points. By the way, DraftKings has a profit boost for an anytime touchdown score. Any thought there?
I would go with the running back for Denver.
Okay.
I'm drawing a blank now.
I found it. It was Andy. Andy Isco had Broncos -7.5 was one of his plays.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well,
tomorrow at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Get you an old-fashioned and a steak. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
After further review.
Getting on down the road, remind you about Parrish Construction and Roofing. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. That's me and Terrio and Tilly and Joe Morales, our great staff over at Parrish Construction and Roofing. Remember, commercial or residential repairs, replacements. We do gutters. We do soft washing. Sometimes, you got like that grime on your roof, just mildew. Like maybe just a soft wash not only will clean your roof, give it the appearance of being new, but it'll get a lot of that mildew off that eats away at your roof. Or maybe you got a problem. Listen, when it rains, I always say it. There's two ways really to find out if you got roof damage. One is let us at Parrish come do a free no-obligation roofing inspection. Two, wait for it to rain and then you get water in your house. One of those options is better than the other. So we'd love to help you out with a free no-obligation roofing inspection. Hey, if you need a roof replacement, we can help you finance that roof replacement. If maybe you're just paying an insurance deductible, we can help you finance the deductible if you need help with that. Parishbuilt.com. Parishbuilt.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.